mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Run for cover, you discover some will thrive and others suffer. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Woo! Don't wait, don't hesitate. Better speak the truth, let it resonate and let it detonate and get blown away. Till you keep on rising to a higher place. Can't stop, won't stop. Don't stop coming till we hit the top. Gotta keep pushing till the day I make it. Since they won't give it to me, then I got to take it. The pain today is power tomorrow. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. No matter what they say, I wouldn't do it any other way. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Not enough, they keep us smothered. Lower class, never the upper. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of a
storytelling thing about
I thought I hear final. Good evening, U.S. Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. Tonight we are talking about that very special thing that is very physical and contacty. We're talking about martial arts. And specifically, we're talking about our famous martial arts celebrities from Bruce Lee to Sammo Hung to Jet Li, the usual Asian greats. Michelle Yeoh, of course, cannot forget about her. To our American greats like Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Scott Adkins, and even one who has been slept on and not really that much talked about, Michael Jai White, And we can explain in great detail, of course, some of our favorite martial arts and associate these fighters with said martial arts, like the fighters that got us very interested in said martial arts, like for everybody who's familiar with Bruce Lee, he got you interested in Jeet Kune Do or as many would say Gung Fu, or Jackie Chan with the drunken style. I'm here with the lovely lady of our Leia Plus Size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor. The only martial arts movie I've seen was Jackie Chan in Rush Hour 1 and 2. So I don't have much to say on this topic. I'm sorry. But I'm sure my wonderful fleet here will give you a good conversation, I'm sure, about this.
You tell me you have not watched Rumble in the Bronx?
No.
That came out before Rush Hour.
I know, but I've got to be honest. A lot of his stuff before Rush Hour, I really haven't seen. I got to tell you the truth.
I've tried. Nice Guy?
I haven't seen that either.
Not even.
No.
Not even. What's that one called? A Bronx Tale.
No. It's been a Bronx Tale. I think I saw it, but I forgot it.
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. I haven't seen his movies in a very long time. Let me just put it like that. Sorry.
We have the humblest of writers, Humble Marty.
Hello, I'm Humble Marty, and I write things.
We have the Hound of the South, Donick Powell.
Good morning. This is the Hound of the South, Donick Powell, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Real Millennials, where, Sorry.
He couldn't help himself, could he?
Not really, no.
Oh.
You jerk.
I believe it's you, dick.
You jerk. But anyway, this is the Hound of the South, Donick Powell, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Real Millennials, where tonight we're going to talk about martial arts. Are you going to enjoy Transformers after that?
We have the humblest of writers, Humble Marty.
Hi, I'm Humble Marty. What about the Authenticator?
The Authenticator, everyone,
Hello, folks. I apologize for being late. I forgot it was Thursday entirely.
Demerit. Demerit.
What
5
do the
points.
demerits amount to exactly?
Punctuality.
Punctuality.
No. What do they amount to? Is what I asked, not what they were
Oh,
for. I
I was about
understand the
to
premise
say,
of what they
I
were
just
for.
said
What do
it.
they amount to?
5 points. I
And that
just said it.
means,
5 points.
What?
5 points demerit.
But I'm never going to get a straight answer to the question of what the fuck it actually means, am I? Fuck.
Is it a score kind of like the Hogwarts, or
I'm just saying it just to be an ass.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
don't. In other words, Dalton, don't take our fearless leader too seriously, because he likes doing that to each of us.
I see. But in any case, proceed with the thing. I apologize for interrupting.
So we begin with also our next stranger, Dark Stranger.
Hello.
See, it threw me off. I'm discombobulated. Anyways, so martial arts has been quite a it's been
Fad
that
trend.
fad trend. I don't really know what to really say to its rising and ever so growing craze, to say the least. You know, it's that one thing that you saw as a kid where somebody is where some of us have been very inundated with boxing and pro
Or wrestling.
wrestling. I was about to get there. Stop interrupting me while I'm doing the fucking intro. God damn it. Sorry, Monticelli. Do you see what I'm dealing with if you're here?
No, I'm just like finishing your sentence.
Uh, I'm getting there. Let me do it on my own first. But yeah, it's like you're very familiar with the contact sports, mostly the boxing, the wrestling, and of course there's also the entertainment value type of physical contact, like say for the sports, from your football to basketball, soccer, baseball, what have you, right? But then you happen upon maybe a movie or a TV show where somebody is kicking someone in unique ways or punching someone in unique ways and striking poses, and you know you you never knew what it was when you were a kid, and kind of find out over time as you get older, it's this thing called martial arts. And as you get older and the more you start looking more into the martial arts, you start knowing that there's different forms of martial arts, from Wing Chun to Dragon Fist, or in later years that's kind of getting a bit more attention, like say for instance Jiu-Jitsu, Krav Maga. Um, in the case of the Ray franchise or duology, Pinka Salat. Um, original Before that, it was almost dominated by Muay Thai fighting. There's also the cycles and the sagas of our centuries where certain martial arts were dominating the martial arts genres as well. And like I said before that, we had kung fu in the many forms of kung fu that we witnessed: Wing Chun, Eagle Strike, even ridiculous names like say for instance Tiger Fang, or the traditional fight style Tiger Claw. Then you had the more mysticism aspect to it, or sort of the fantastical versions of it, which is you get movies like Five Deadly Venoms, where the styles are reflective of poison based animals. A lot of martial arts had animal names and were styled after animals. And to that effect, it will also translate into other mediums like video games, hell, even storybooks, scrolls, um, and of course our
Pocket
favorite,
monsters.
huh? Did you raise your hand, humble?
Why? No, I kind of interrupted. Sorry about that.
Don't forget
You-
the best one of all, the flying guillotine.
oh, and of course, martial arts also extended to weapons, where the weapons were the extension to the martial arts as well, like your bow staffs, your I don't know the name of those spears that they use in those wuxia films. And my God, the wuxia genre. My goodness, there is also genres within the genre of martial arts. You know, there's the monk style genre, the wuxia kind of how would you call it, Chinese cinema style,
It's
where they were
fighting theater.
they were aspects of the Chinese theater in full motion instead of just
Mhm.
being on a stage play. Hero, I remember Hero, a very tidbit from a commenter in the fight between Spirit and Nameless. You know, when they fight in their minds and you hear the you know, you ever wonder why those sounds were used in that scene?
Mm,
Or any of the grunting sounds that were later used, and it's mostly between the men, not really the women. But every time the men would interact with each other with their weapons and their fighting style, you would hear hit, 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 hit. It's to reflect the Chinese plays and how the performers would make the noise sounds whenever time they do a striking motion or a striking attack towards one another. And now you know it was basically a homage and reflection of Chinese plays back in the days. And I
hmm.
thought
The
I
more you know.
dun, 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 I gotta remember to get that sound clip. Don't at me don't at me authenticator. Working on that. But yeah, I did not mind that that sound effect in Hero. I actually liked it, but knowing that fact also elevates my it elevated my curiosity. Elevate no, it fed my curiosity, excuse me. Fed my curiosity and my fascination. Of course you had the bare knuckle type of films where you get the brawlers, you know, things like Rumble in the Bronx, as I mentioned earlier. Um, you had you know, the Chuck Norrises, the John Claude Van Damme films, your Cynthia Rothrock. Though Cynthia Rothrock will have her kind of deep cover agent types and detective work, police police stories and stuff like that. Of course, you had also the John Woo films, and we all know John Woo. We poke fun at John Woo. We've always made fun with the trolls, with the doves, the what was usually involved in the John Woo film besides the doves?
Gun fu.
Gun fu, yes, definitely gun fu. Fire is also involved at times. Uh, what's another thing? I do recall them being loud too. Then we have the tread centers, the breakout stars, the breakout moments. Like say for instance, the subject of a remembrance coming soon in November. Bruce Lee, Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, the ones who Michelle Yeoh, like I said earlier too, who were paving the way for Asians to come over to Hollywood and make it big and bring the fighting style, their fighting styles, and the skills over to the states. Which over time we did adopt a lot of the skills over here, especially Japanese karate, in many of its forms, as Humble once brought up. I believe also who else was speaking on that in the fitness stream. I believe it was Ironcast, right?
Hmm.
Mm.
Ironcast had added to it, but we have multiple forms of karate over here as well. And karate, come on now, karate. Who can remember the Karate Kid?
Three ninjas.
Three ninjas, definitely three ninjas. Ninja, the whole ninja genre, like the American Ninja trilogy, and Scott Atkins Ninja trilogy as well. We were getting a bit of ninjas as sort of a martial arts type of film.
Hmm. And
But
yeah, I guess we'll have to even throw out the Last Samurai.
And there is also the GI Joe.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
yeah. With G.I. Joe, like with the anime series and in the comics, like you have each of the soldiers, like in the G.I. Joes and Cobra, showcasing different forms of martial arts as well.
And K-pop Demon Hunters, each one of them has at least a Korean weapon.
Yeah,
Koreans are
Korean.
also stepping in as of right now. They're also stepping into the genre as well, or at least adding to the entertainment with their own thing. And Indonesia, of course, again with their raid duology and other movies and television. The Indonesians are starting to step in by bringing Pencast a lot into it. Now boxing is also kind of it's not left behind. It's still a mainstay. We've got a whole shit ton of boxing movies like the Rocky films, of course, and later on the Creed films, and we got Southpaw and of course even kickboxing like MMA, also MMA as well with the Warrior, Here Comes the Boom. We've got all kind of films that are based around a certain martial art, and it's here to stay for sure. And I welcome it wholeheartedly. It's been a genre that I've always been neck in since growing up. Um, I guess we can start with our favorite martial artist actor, and you can a good list about that if you want to. Now, I do have one rule. We will briefly talk about Bruce Lee because we're saving all that talk for his remembrance strip. Okay, keep it in your pants until then. Got it?
Since he was breaking out,
Uh,
he's saying limit anything Bruce Lee since we'll keep it for his stream.
okay.
Briefly talk about him briefly, but whatever more you have to say about Bruce Lee, save it for for the remembrance stream. And we have the War of Light Final Fantasy. Oh my fucking god, Dark Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 12. Everybody,
Hey guys,
Hello.
Welcome back.
hello,
I,
final.
I wasn't the only one who was late today. Hurrah!
Don't worry, you won't lose a finger.
regardless, Bruce Lee is definitely the one who's always going to be remembered as the one that really set the standard in the tread of bringing martial arts to cinema, because that was his goal to bring to recognize his skills in the movie genre uh, within the states, within America. It's the reason why he came here in the first place, right? Just and a lot of martial arts have done that too. Like I said, along with him, Jet Li, Jack Chan, and they all have varying successes. So much so that we've had so much Chinese cinema being shipped here to the states to be seen. You know, there was a Chinese market growing within that space, and everybody loved it. You know,
Hmm.
everybody could love it. Black, white, Chinese, Mexican.
Lots of those movies came from Hong Kong, if I remember right.
Yeah, they all Hong Kong cinema. And majority of them were produced and possibly directed by the Shaw Brothers studios. A lot of Shaw Bros productions too that came abroad. Um, the one that really I believe the one that really set the record straight that there's a market and profit to be had in Chinese cinema was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Because that was, I believe, that was the one movie that I don't think it won any awards yet, but it was nominated a lot. Like had a lot of nominations, high amounts of nominations. I believe somebody can correct me in the comments if they want to. Go ahead and correct me, or spit some history if you follow this genre. But Bruce Lee, yeah, definitely. He pretty much opened up the door. Jackie Chan kept it open. Jet Li guard the door. You know, in that order. In that order, those three really
I mean, I get he's
maintained.
short, but I don't think Jet Li's a dog.
I mean, he was treated like one in that one movie, Unleashed.
Eh, yeah, okay, fits.
No shade to Jet Li, but like no, really, this is my perspective as a kid. This is how I view them. Okay, Bruce Lee was the one that opened the door. Jackie Chan kept it open, and Jet Li guarded that door open. And then Michelle Yeoh made a ticket booth. I'm kidding, no, but like those three really paved the way for Chinese cinema to be consumed by us Americans, which I really respect them for doing that. Regardless of how it went as of today, where it's going now, I'm proud to be alive today to still look fondly at those movies. You know, a lot of those movies. And granted, some things have come out, you know, and some of our heroes have had a bit of a visual takedown, a visage takedown, if you will.
Hmm.
But like I said, you know, some people can separate the art from the artist, separate the actor from the people he portrays or she portrays, you know, and you can still enjoy them. But who wants to go ahead and name some of their favorite martial artist actors?
Well, let the lady Street Fighter go first.
Uh,
I think he
I'll
needed to be
admit,
humble.
some of my okay. I liked Jackie Chan. Chuck Norris was the one I grew up with,
Sweet.
and off the top of my head, probably anyone from the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
So either Michelle Yeoh or Ji Yi Zhang.
Oh no, my favorite one is whoever played the landlady
Oh my god.
in that martial
Oh,
arts parody because she has the best recruitment story. Because let's see, well, I should say best audition story. They were looking for a lady that would have been someone who'd be Wile E. Coyote and Curlers, and she just happened to be. She was there for the audition, but she happened to be outside and smoking a cigarette. And when they'd seen it, it's like pigeons flew by and the heavens opened up. And it's like, yeah, that's our gnarly landlady.
Are you talking about the landlady from
Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung
Kung
Fu
Fu
Hustle,
Hustle?
yep,
yes.
yep. Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Well, I tend to squish all the subjects together.
Granted, Stephen Chow. Now I'm blanking on his name. Stephen Chow did kind of mix some of the genres up within the Hong Kong cinema as well, and
Just like your chow mein.
I think the only one he'll be remembered for specifically is Kung Fu Hustle. He did make Shaolin Girl and Shaolin Soccer, but it will always be Kung Fu Hustle that a lot of people remember the most. What's really tragic about Stephen Chow, though, is that he never got to direct Dragon Ball Evolution.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
He was
There,
hired
there
on
are
to
oodles of things that are tragic about Dragon Ball Evolution. First and foremost, it exists, and that will never cease to be a problem.
and Stephen Chow never directed the action, and
Yep.
his style and digital style really fit Dragon Ball. If you look at
I'm
Kung Fu Hustle, it's Dragon Ball.
I'm curious with the abandonment of most of Western like geek culture in favor of manga and anime. In 20 years or so, I wonder if we will get a shonen movie boom in the same way we got a comic book movie boom, and in the same way we're kind of starting to tread some water as regards the video game genre. Finally, we've
So you
finally
want
maybe
a
broken the
hundred or
curse of
thousand
Booba
movie
Bowl.
with One Piece? My God, man, we'll
Hmm?
never be alive for the middle of that.
Middle of what?
A One Piece live action movie series.
Oh,
Well, no, but
uh,
they've already got season one in the can. I assume they'll
yeah.
probably cut out a bunch of filler for the sake of
Well, that's
not
Netflix. They
wanting to
trash
kill people
anything.
with
But
filler. But
if we're talking like actual El Lotor, uh, very good and accurate, mostly accurate, like live action for everybody. Yeah, well, we won't live probably a quarter way through that.
We'll put a pin
well,
on that.
that's why I said it'll probably be another 20 years before
Let's put a
the
pin on that.
the anime
Humble.
movie boom happens, like the comic book movie boom or the comic book movie boom did, and the video game movie boom is kind of currently revving up. It seems.
Let's put a pin on
Yeah.
it. Humble. Next one, if you got a second one.
Humble.
No, that's about it.
We'll move on to final then.
Humble. You just called Dalton humble.
No, he was still.
I was moving
No,
back
yeah,
to
he
the
was
final.
he was referring to her so as to move the plot along. I
Oh,
think
okay.
was the thing there,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not good at advancing the plot very much.
Final. Final. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you an out. If you don't have a martial arts actor to fall back on, you can pick a game or a cartoon.
Or Tifa.
Hey, she does represent the monk class.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Oh,
like
yeah,
that,
she is.
1,000 people automatically started looking up fan fictions.
Right.
Them's the rules on the internet, folks.
Right. Where else do I start? I rarely ever watch. I mean, I hardly ever have any one. I mean, I know a lot of them, and a lot of them are fan favorites. especially Bruce Lee, because I have a rather interesting history with the martial arts genre. My earliest one that I was exposed to was actually the one actor I was exposed to earlier in my life was Jackie Chan, particularly in I think it was Shanghai Noon, where he was in there with Owen
Yeah,
Wilson.
Shanghai
Yeah.
Noon.
Yeah, but I hardly ever remember what happens in that movie because I was so young when I got that on DVD. But
You're
when
around when, at the time the tuxedo, the medallion, and Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights was already out and quite popular.
And Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh God, fucking hated that fucking
but other
not.
but
That
I'm gonna let
movie's
you do
so
it.
freaking weird.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go from. But I gotta throw this rant out there. Fucking
oh boy,
hated the advertisement of that movie. Everywhere
Really?
I went with my mom and my grandmother and many others, I saw billboards to a movie I had no interest in watching because Jackie Chan looked fucking weird traveling around the world in 80 days as a character that probably didn't suit his character that much. The person he is
Yeah,
or that he
the
plays.
the the role he was playing in that movie was supposed to be a French butler by the name of Passepartout. I
Yep.
don't know why they looked at a French manservant and went, "We're sticking Jackie Chan in that movie."
I don't know
Why?
how he
He's
decided to sign
probably
up
the only
for it.
one able to pull off all the physical gags in that one.
Well, okay, but why does the French manservant butler need to have physical gags in an adaptation of a Victorian novel?
Shit,
it's
Because
pretty
they
Jackie.
much.
needed to insert China and Buddha in there.
Besides, it's Jackie Chan.
But
He's done a lot of physical
right,
gags in his movies.
but why
I'm
not
pretty sure he'd be
Same
the
with
why
right
not
guy
Marvel.
for the
make up
job.
a completely different character for him? Or hell, why
There you
even
go.
do a Around the World in 80 Days adaptation if you're not actually interested in the premise of
Better
Around the World
yet,
in 80 Days?
and after
Oh,
this
the
There
is
it
best
is.
over,
joke in that one was the guy talking about the scars he got from a shark attack. He
There,
shows it,
there.
I got a
and
better idea, and I will
There,
put
oh,
there.
put a rant
well,
over sign over this too. You could achieve the exact same thing that you wanted with Robin Williams, and he was still alive around that time, and he was still in his prime of physical comedy.
Mm-hmm.
This is also true, and he probably can do a pretty convincing, if comedic, French accent. So Passepartout could have kept his nationality for once. Fucking hell.
The point is, we have better adaptations of Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days. So let's continue on and stay on topic before this derails even further.
Go ahead,
Yeah, you're
Simon.
right.
Apologies. I really hate
It
that
was
movie for what it did to the source material.
it
I
wasn't
liked
your
the
fault,
part where the guy
Authenticator.
explained his shark attack.
I warned y'all about a rant incoming, so don't blame me. I gave y'all a warning first this time.
Right.
Go on, Final.
But the one the one martial arts movie that I do remember vividly in my youth though was when I've watched Kung Fu Panda in theaters, which I remember so vividly, and I remember liking that movie a lot. And I wasn't introduced to more martial arts movies until my cousins on my mom's side of the family introduced me to Bruce Lee and Tony Jaa.
Unbox series.
Yes. And then I would eventually watch the original Karate Kid movie, which my parents have grown up with. Loved that one when it was rerunning on I think it was on ABC Family at one point. It's
Hmm.
hey,
This is everywhere. TBS, ABC Family,
yeah.
TNT.
TNT.
But yeah, I had a rather somewhat of an interesting history with martial arts, which I hardly which despite growing up with it, I never known what the heck that was because I was already more interested in growing up with superheroes since I was a kid.
Well, your exposure indefinitely was definitely the Sentai genre.
Oh yeah, Power Rangers. Duh.
Starting with Power Rangers.
I was wondering which one of us was going to be the first one to mention Power Rangers.
It was on. It was already there. I was just waiting for an opening to bring it up.
Uh huh.
And thrust in hard.
Like I said, waiting for an opening,
Oh
That-
God.
and then final was that opening.
Oof.
Thrust it in there like Tommy wielding the dragon dagger. Why don't you?
But yeah, I believe it was Power Rangers that really cemented martial arts as well, especially into kids.
Mm.
As a
That and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well, the vivid memory that I have of that was the CG movie, and I think
2009.
I may have watched the 2003 show, at least one episode of that show.
Mhm.
You probably did, considering that I'm pretty sure that CGI movie was meant to at least be soft canon with the 2003 series, because they
Yeah.
make references to like Leo being in exile, and I remember the storyline where that happened in the actual show. So I think it's supposed to be soft canon with the computer animated one.
Yeah, and also somewhat to the 90s TMNT films because Shredder's helmet's there, the scepter from Turtles 3 is in there too.
I think those were just meant to be Easter eggs, though.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think that's meant to invoke canon. I think, as I recall, I think the main voice actress for April was the same voice actress that played her in the 2003
That
show.
was McGeller.
Rose McGeller?
Yeah, that was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh my God!
She's a good voice actress then, because I did not register that as her voice.
Where the fuck was her skills at in He-Man? Sorry, we're not gonna jump on that rant. Just briefly.
I assume you mean the one that Kevin Smith decided to ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, the less we mention about Kevin Smith, the better.
We're not gonna. Mm-mm. No, I'm gonna kill it right there, nip in the butt. We'll save that rant for another time. Another
Agreed.
time. But continue, final. I'm pretty sure you got more things to say about your martial arts cinema journey.
Oh yeah, actually one that I've watched 4 years ago, I think, that I actually have on DVD was the Ip Man movies. I have the first three films. It didn't have the fourth one as of yet.
Good. That one was shit.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the other two as of yet. The first one, great movie.
First one will always be the best one, but don't see the fourth one. That one was shit.
Very well.
That's it. That's all you have to say. So basically, from what we're gathering so far, while you're not really the biggest martial arts fan, you have dipped into it and have dipped into enough to have at least name a few that catch your attention that you want to see more of. So far, and what I've looked at, so what I'm hearing so far is, you know, you might have a proclivity to watch anything Ralph Macchio since he's the lead star of Karate Kid and now he's now the lead star of Cobra Kai.
Hmm?
You may end up becoming a Donnie Yen fan and possibly seeing a few of his movies here and there on TV and might watch those.
And Joe
Yeah.
Pesci, too.
We have we also have a liking to Tony Jaa. If I have to make some suggestions, definitely watch the other two Bach films. They do teeter on weird, but his fighting and the way how they showcase the fighting in both of those movies is superb. Definitely check out Bach. Do not watch The Protector 2. Watch only The Protector. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
watch the first half of Protector 2 and just drop it. Because it showcased another Muay Thai martial artist I forgot her name. Sadly, I have to look her up again. But she's really good. She's in a movie called Chocolate, I believe, which I need
The
to
one
binge.
with the mentally handicapped girl.
I think so.
Right. Yeah, that's Chocolate. I don't remember her name. I remember she was kind of being a big thing, but then she decided to have a kid, and yeah,
That's why we don't see more of her. That's
I
both
guess.
bittersweet. She became a mother. That's what she wanted to do. Okay, cool. You may see her, but I believe they try to. I think they try to frame her to look like a kid in Protector 2, but I think she's still well into her adult years when she was in there. She just happened to be short. Um, as far as Donnie Yen's movies, he's best when he's playing with other stars. I mean, he's a leading man for sure. He leads his own movies too, but like his best work is when he's with other people. Did you know that he was in two movies with Michelle Yeoh? Two movies.
Which ones were they?
The first one was her. I believe it was her starting movie called Wing Chun, when she was the lead character in that one, and he just so happens to be in there. But what's funny about Donnie Yen sometimes in old school, like very old school Chinese cinema, he tends to disappear until he steps in again and start doing putting some work. The second one was the sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny. I'll have to give it a second watch, but I remember my first viewing, I did not like it that much, and only because Chow Yun Fat's not in the picture anymore. Because spoilers, his character died in the previous one, so it just wasn't the same with all the characters. It was mostly centered around Michelle Yeoh's character in that film,
And
and
it's
not
Netflix
saying that,
only.
huh?
And it's Netflix only, right?
Yes, Netflix only, unfortunately, as well.
Hmm.
Um, production value is not as great as the first movie. It's, to be honest, overly produced, so it doesn't fit the style of the previous film. But definitely check Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as well. Two final. Um,
Okay.
you really should check out John Woo's films starring Chow Yun Fat, because Chow Yun Fat is also a great action star. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making suggestions for you to if you definitely want to let's just say fill your appetite in Chinese cinema. I'm going to name a lot anyways in the stream, so get your pen and paper out.
Okay.
But again, you might end up becoming a growing fan of Donnie Yen through the Ip Man films. So
Hmm.
definitely track down Kung Fu Killer. Kung Fu Killer is one of my favorites of his.
Ooh, good recommendation.
It's I think he's a regular Joe that's been stalked by a serial killer of martial artists with a cleft foot, with a handicapped foot for starts. You also mentioned Tony Jaa. I briefly mentioned the Umbach trilogy and the First Protector. Only stick with the First Protector.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he worked best when he's actually no. The tragedy about the tragedy with Tony Jaa is the fact that he kind of had a mental breakdown on the set of Umbach 3, and it kind of slowed down his career.
Mm.
Ugh.
Sadly, he disappears in a whole lot of movies that's in America. That is, he was
Ooh.
in Monster Hunter, the Anderson Monster Hunter adaptation. He was in I'm not sure which Fast movie was he in, but it was one of the recent ones. I think it was the last one Paul Walker did. Yeah, yeah. It was the one. It was the last one that Paul Walker did. That was him in there.
Yeah, Fast and
Uh,
Furious 7.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
also in the Expendables 3
Okay.
with another martial artist that I've grew, I became a fan of, and my God, I hope he gets some more movies too. I'm gonna bring him up when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Uh,
Although one martial artist I have been fascinated by was Bruce Lee, and one
Hmm.
part not just because of my cousins, and especially because of how much he has been homaged a lot in shonen anime and manga, but especially in fighting games. He is everywhere. But one that fascinated me the most was his performance as Kato in the original Green Hornet show.
mhm. You have to check out Game of Death and Into the Dragon.
Very well.
I sadly, as much as a Bruce Lee fan I am, those are the only two movies I can only recall of his. I can. Oh, there was the one where he fought Chuck Norris. What was that one called again?
Ah, shoot, I know what you're talking about. I forgot what it was too.
The Master or some shit like that. It was one. It was something to that effect. But definitely check that one out too.
It's called The Way of the Dragon.
Way of the Dragon. Right. Right.
Way of the
Right.
Dragon.
Yeah, Bruce Lee versus all of Chuck Norris's chest hair.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely check out Chuck Norris's work too, if you can
Oh
find
yeah.
it.
Okay.
But
Well, I mean, you can find them either on Tubi or Amazon Prime.
yeah. Tubi's Tubi is a really hive of martial arts
Oh,
cinema.
oh yeah.
It's really weird to me how awesome Tubi is for being a free streaming service. There are so many good things on there, and
Yeah.
it's all really weird, obscure stuff that I guess they get away with because the big streaming services don't really fight over the obscure stuff. But as a result, if you want to find a obscure movie or an obscure TV show, 9 times out of 10, it will be on Tubi somewhere.
Hmm.
Well, not to mention, Tubi, among others, is still one of the leads as an alternative to Netflix, even Amazon Prime.
To
Mhm.
be or not to be?
I will
That
also
is the question.
share with you an obscure martial arts film that was made inner city here in the states called The Last Dragon, starring Timek and the late Vanity Six.
Hey,
Who
I,
is
I
the
recommend it as
master?
well.
Also, the late Shonuff himself.
Hmm.
Yep.
Forgot his name, sadly. I can never remember names. I'm going to see now, everybody. But no, definitely check out the Last Dragon as well. That's a fun flick.
It really is. And of course, first, let's not forget John Carpenter's, excuse me, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah, a lot of people always mention that one.
The very
And
movie that
also,
inspired Mortal Kombat.
yeah,
Yep.
one of the few movies that inspired Mortal Kombat. And also
You
one,
think?
yeah, it's one of them. The other was Enter the Dragon, because the Bruce Lee and the entire plot around the film is inspired by the premise of Mortal Kombat. The other was Bloodsport because of um what's the name of Van Damme's character in that movie.
You don't
But
need to know
that
his name.
character is,
Just know that Jean Claude Van Damme was the main star, and that's what inspired Johnny Cage.
yep, even going so far borrowing the Nutcracker Punch, which that became a signature move for Johnny Cage. And also, a fun fact about Bruce Lee as Kato in the Green Hornet. He, as well as the Green Hornet's actor in that show, I forgot his name, have appeared several times in the '66 Batman show. I think about twice. One time for the window cameo, but the other time was for an episode. And Burt Ward, who played Robin in that show, was
Rip.
so scared out of his mind when he was facing him because of how much he could kick a lot of ass, and I mean kick ass. The one time he tried to think of something funny, like I think he said he was like trying to walk like a chicken at one point. He started cracking himself up. He could not stop laughing.
But yeah, definitely and definitely check out anything Jet Li, which again I'm gonna get more into him and why you need to check out Jet Li.
Very well, very well.
Not unless one of
Now
us
Jackie
beats you to it.
Chan. Now I know you had your taste in Jackie Chan already through the Kung Fu Panda movies so far.
Yep.
Which one you saw? The
Specifically, he
first one?
was the voice of. Yeah, I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I haven't seen the third one.
That's the only one you need to see afterwards. I don't know about the fourth one yet.
He was Monkey in Kung Fu Panda 1. He was the
Master
voice actor
Yeah,
Monkey,
for
yeah.
Monkey.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
But I will give you.
Well,
I'll definitely give you my recommendations for Jackie Chan. Of course, everybody's favorite, and a lot of people always toss this one up first when every time they mention Jackie Chan, Rush Hour trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But when every time you're in my circle, I always bring up Drunken Master,
I was gonna
um,
say that.
Legend of Drunken Master. That is.
Mm-hmm.
My classics, my main gateway to Jackie Chan mostly was Rumble in the Bronx, Mr. Nice Guy, A Bronx Tale. Um, Operation Condor, or I believe it was called Armor in China. It's called Armor of God 2, but definitely check out Armor of God 1.
Okay.
hmm And well, I will say briefly about like Drunken Master. Master, like a defined style, as you see, is actually inspired by an actual form of martial arts called Drunken Fist, where, as
Hmm.
the name implies, is a Chinese martial arts that imitate the movements of a drunk person.
A drunkard, that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outside of those guys, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and Jackie Chan is definitely Sammo Hung. But actually, you can get both Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan together in My Lucky Stars.
hmm
Definitely check out My Lucky Stars. It's the one with the muscly Japanese woman.
But Sammo Hung was also in Ip Man.
That's right. He was in the third one or the second one.
Oh.
Yeah. No. He was in the second one, and he is also like a martial artist himself. Well, because
I
he's a fight choreographer.
recommend him, Dom. Thank you, Commander Obvious. Anyways, we'll be here all night. Let's go to Leia since she's the shortest one, and the only thing she can talk about is Rush Hour.
Well, this is what I'll say. You're
Just
right.
chill.
This is this is hold up, Dark. This is a let me just put it like this. Martial art films I'm very well of. I know many friends and family members who are fans of these films. I'm familiar with some of the names you have mentioned. I actually watched the a documentary about Bruce Lee, and of course the film that was the biography that was made about him. I think it started Son. Jason Lee, but not Jason Lee.
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee.
Not
Brandon Lee.
Brandon, not Brandon Lee, not Brandon. He had another
Oh. Oh,
or
another one.
nephew. I'm not sure on that. I can't remember the
Oh
name of the
my.
movie,
Oh,
so
oh boy.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. But I know there was a biography, and someone in Bruce Lee's family played him. Holly Hunter played not Holly Hunter. See, I don't know nothing.
Leia,
uh,
just get to Rush Hour.
Okay. No, I am. I'm going to get to workshop very quickly. I'm just going to say that yeah, I'm familiar with the names that you have mentioned. However, yes, it's very true. This is not my genre, so I haven't really watched films that you've mentioned because it's just not. I know what it is. I just haven't really watched films about it. So the only thing I know about martial arts is I'm very aware that Jackie Chan did have a huge career before he made it big here in America, but I haven't seen a lot of those movies. I have seen Rush Hour 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 being the best of those films. And the work that's done in The Matrix. And that as far as I go for martial arts. So I'm unfortunately there
Well,
is
then
nothing
go
much
in
I can
depth with
say
the
on this
martial
topic.
arts in the Matrix. It doesn't necessarily have to geared towards just a specific. I told you I gave you guys an out. You can talk about other media that presents martial arts as well, and other stars that partook in martial arts. Don't necessarily have to be our Chinese dominators
Well,
Or Japanese.
or Japanese.
Pokemon has an entire element known as fighting.
If you want to touch on the martial arts based Pokemon,
Well, yeah, well, I'll just say this. I enjoyed how The Matrix was able to incorporate martial arts into the movie. Let's put it like that. I think it's showcased why martial arts is very popular, or for people, maybe for some people, they were exposed to martial arts for the very first time by watching The Matrix.
Mm.
So I'll say that. I'll say that, like you said, a lot of films have I don't know if there's a lot of martial arts in. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Kill Bill 1 and 2,
There
I
is.
don't. Okay, well, those movies, Kill Bill 1 and 2, The Matrix, I will say that did a good job incorporating martial arts into their films. Since you said I could have it out here, I would say that. So people like myself who may not be martial arts fans per se, because I don't know anything about it. I can't tell what martial arts move or skills from what. I'm totally normie to it. I can't tell you what is what. I don't mean to sound like this, but a lot of the moves look the same. So I don't know what is different from what. But I like the way the movies inculcate the style into their films. So very good job with those movies. Those are the movies that come to my mind when I think about the use of martial arts. I think it's one that thing that really helped the Matrix be what it was its use of martial arts and the fighting styles. But the different styles,
And
I
lots of guns. Lots and lots of guns.
and lots of guns too, and lots of that too,
I can
and of
dodge
course,
bullets when you can, you won't have to, or whatever that goes.
Yeah, you got it
So,
right. You got it right.
yeah, when
so
the
if
time
you are
comes, you don't have
correct,
to.
does that mean I can dodge bullets? No. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Correct. You guys are the line. That's correct. And the Matrix is one of my favorite. I put the Matrix in sci-fi category.
Of course.
I've never really put it into a martial arts category. I thought of it as science fiction that used martial arts. So that side of the Matrix I more was paying attention to. But again, like
Charlie's
you said,
Angels.
yeah, there's some of it in there too.
I
Yes.
mean,
Scary movie too.
it's fair to say that the Wachowskis were very heavily influenced by Hong Kong cinema, and
Hmm.
that majorly influenced their aesthetics for the Matrix. I mean, the Matrix is at the end of the day part cyberpunk, part just punk in general, and
Hmm.
part Hong Kong cinema.
Continue, Leia.
Well, that's maybe one reason why it was such a smash hit. All of you are giving good reasons as to why it was a smash hit. Like I said, I was focusing more on the sci-fi aesthetics of the film and not exactly the martial arts, which I did enjoy. So when it's done right and directors or writers know what they're doing, you can enjoy it. So I guess it's just showing how it's come from its roots in Asia into Hollywood and how it's expanding in other ways and just plain being a martial arts film. Um,
And
We'll
correct
move
me if
on.
I'm wrong. Wasn't The Matrix
Whoops.
also the biggest inspiration for the John Wick films?
No,
they
No.
weren't okay.
no.
It was the stunt coordinator for the Matrix that essentially made John Wick as a franchise.
Hmm.
Okay.
That was the crossover. Keanu Reeves got along really well with the stuntmen and stunt choreographers for the Matrix, so much so that he ended up giving away a large sum of his salary to them. And apparently, because Keanu Reeves is the nicest person in Hollywood, he just kept in touch with them, and they kept being friends. and then Chad Stahelski and David Leitch went, "Hey Keanu, we have this idea for a ex hitman story. You in?" And the rest, as they say, is history.
Before
Okay,
that,
then.
he
Indeed.
directed The Man of Tai Chi
Yep.
in his first directing debut.
Okay.
Yeah.
More on
So
that later,
All right then.
because that
Less said about
because
47 Ronin, though, the better.
shut up. Still like that movie, despite its weirdness. No,
but I'm not surprised.
fun fact though, the star of The Man of Tai Chi is actually the man who taught him the martial arts on The Matrix. Everybody actually.
I'm not
Tiger Chan.
surprised. I'm not surprised after the success of The Matrix that many studios, we know this is the Hollywood routine, wanted to have some of that style in films because how well it was done, how well it was added into the movie. I'm not surprised by that. It does. It doesn't.
Equilibrium, for example.
Right, right. They saw how successful that was, putting it
No, I
into
would never
these
call
films.
Equilibrium a Matrix clone because it's not really even close to being a Matrix clone, given the subject matter of that film.
It's closer to being a Matrix clone than the fourth movie is, but que sera.
Which, even upon first viewing, is still a freaking awesome movie.
We're gonna move on to Dom now.
Well, what can I say?
Naruto?
No. Heck no. No, man.
It's
No,
okay. We know you like Sakura Haruno. That's fine.
Keep going, Dom.
no. When it comes to martial arts, besides Jackie Chan and Jet Li, I continue really looking for more works of fiction dealing with martial arts through works such as Yu Yu Hakusho. So just to name several examples, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Yep. And of course, there's a Matrix, but also there's like Lee, and well, like any film that features like Michael J. White or Wesley Snipes, because they too are martial artists. Oh, it's funny. Well, it's funny that you mentioned Bloodsport because what not a lot of people don't know is that Forrest Whitaker was also in the movie besides Jean-Claude Van Damme, but also he's also a practitioner in martial arts as well. More
Indeed.
specific, More specifically, American Kempo.
I believe it.
Yeah, and also another practitioner in American Kempo is Thomas Ian Griffith. Otherwise, you all know him as Terry Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to make a long story short of what American Kempo is, it's a martial arts like founded over here in America, and it essentially is a hybrid martial arts that comes from a fusion of karate and judo with influence from Chinese martial arts.
Mm.
And the creator that helped make American Kempo is named Ed Parker.
Ed
Nice.
Barker? Like Bob Barker?
No, no, Ed Parker.
Parker. Relation to Peter?
No, that's a happy coincidence. Yeah, but ever since I was watching, reading, or even like playing like works of fiction that has martial arts, like it really inspired me to really get into them myself. Although really, like I want to do like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Jeet Kune Do, which is another example of a hybrid martial art because it's a mixture of boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, like just to name several examples. And it was founded by Bruce Lee, may he rest in peace. But of course, when I was like growing up, I did wrestling instead, and later on boxing. But to this day, day, I still want to do like Jeet Kune Do as well as Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, just to name like several other martial arts that I still want to do and get back into.
Hmm.
Interesting
Are
stuff.
we at the tail end? You paused there.
Oh, sorry, I thought I saw something. Well,
Hmm.
really, at the end of the day, you know, regardless of whatever martial arts that you're studying, then yeah, it teaches you like how to defend yourself as well as others. But also, it's very effective in really maintaining like your health, not just like physically, but also mentally and spiritually.
Yeah, even when you're using um a specific martial art that involves a weapon, which there's a lot of, especially with Eastern Eastern ones, which even some with more European weapons that we're all used to, like I think what's it called, Hema, where you use a sword and shield.
Hmm.
Um, even if you're gonna be just using a spear or a bow,
Good
and hell,
point.
even the English even created their own called Bartitsu, which is the which that was
Okay.
took inspiration from the um Eastern martial arts and actually used those here. Actually used it for the gentleman, English gentleman.
Oh yeah, and also one of the other like martial arts that is fused with Bartitsu is Savate, aka French kickboxing.
Hmm.
Interesting thing about Bushido, apparently, according to the original Sherlock Holmes novels, Sherlock knows how to do that
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh yeah.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle loved doing research and putting little touches like that in the Sherlock Holmes novels. That's why, for example, there's one story, The Five Orange Pips, where Sherlock goes up against the Ku Klux Klan back when it would have actually been contemporary to modern times to include the Klan.
yeah. It is even used in the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies somewhat.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The one part where it is actually featured the most has been in the what was the name of the Sherlock Holmes movies that starred Robert Downey Jr.?
that's the one Final was just talking about, the Guy Ritchie ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes.
The subtitle of the sequel that you might be thinking of is Game of Shadows.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. That's the
That's
one
a
where it
big.
introduced
They're
the
like I
Moriarty.
appreciate this. I still like that like adaptation of Sherlock Holmes and featuring of Bartitsu because really like it as well as like other martial arts like from Europe like they don't get touched upon or even like talked about like in discussions.
I was wondering when we would get around to mentioning some of the Western ones because in terms of like what we would consider Western martial arts, probably the best showcase for quote unquote Western martial arts is the sword fighting scene from Princess Bride, Wesley
Mm.
versus Inigo.
Yep.
People forget that sword fighting was a practical like martial art for most of human history. It only fell out of favor because guns are somewhat more efficient for the killing thing
Yeah.
if you can feasibly do it from a distance.
Yes.
But if you want to go real old school like well, the first like known example like of a hybrid martial arts is Pankration, which comes from ancient Greek because that involves like boxing, wrestling techniques, also like kicking, holds, joint locks, grappling, chokes on the ground. It pretty much like set up the foundation, but not just like hybrid martial arts, but really modern mixed martial arts.
Broad stick and single stick with quarterstaff. Sorry, it was like one of the first books that came to mind, and it is available for free on Amazon.
Oh, good to know.
It was, I think it was written back in the 1800s, and you get to see what all of the old fencing was. Even how to hit things with an umbrella.
which speaking of single stick and martial arts, they kept Sherlock's martial arts efficiency in the what I consider the much better modern day adaptation of Sherlock, which is Elementary. Apologies to Benedict Cumberbatch, but the writing from Stephen Moffat on those were shit. Elementary is a far superior one, but in Elementary, um, they keep Sherlock's Bartitsu efficiency and have his main weapon be the single stick.
I remember watching that, and that honestly put a huge smile to my face.
It, it,
Yeah,
it was definitely nice whenever they did little nods like that, like, oh, I see. We're not just what I liked about Elementary was it wasn't just we know the name Sherlock Holmes, therefore we can, create something completely different and use that name. They actually were from all outside appearances, Sherlock Holmes fans who actually were big fans of the source material and wanted to see what would happen if we stuck somebody like a Sherlock Holmes in a modern day police procedural. Unlike the Stephen Moffat Benedict Cumberbatch version, which basically just gave him freaking superpowers because reasons.
Oh, that was the one where they basically tried to make him sound and act like a couple.
Yeah, the John Locke shipping, which
Yeah.
Tumblr was a mistake. Tumblr remains and continues to be a mistake.
but well, that'll be saved. That'll be saved for an upcoming topic for the real millennials. But
Oof.
I'll say that even though though they a though part two is not the most talked about martial arts, it is still practice.
Yeah, it's practice to this day. It's a rather obscure one because when people think of martial arts, they always tend to think their minds tend to
Go to
go to
the east.
the eastern ones in particular.
We're gonna move on to Dark now.
Okay.
And that's pretty much and that's really fine because that's really all what I had to say.
Yeah.
So go on, Dark, share with us.
Even alive.
Partially. Well, I see a lot of martial arts, growing up. Most of it was American, Western, you know, specifically, my dad liked watching the reruns of David Carradine Kung Fu, and of course, we also have the
Nice.
Canadian sequel Legend Continues going on. Chuck Norris, other movies and stuff like Sidekicks, Karate Kid, Three Ninjas for kid stuff, Warriors of Virtue,
Yep, I remember watching those too.
TMNT, the movie. The best ones was the 89 and onwards,
Mhm.
movie wise. And movies like Best of the Best,
Hey,
etc.
that's another good one.
So I saw a lot, and there was plenty of also in games, primarily like Legend of Legaia, which the whole combat system was martial arts turn combat. Pretty cool. You've seen it in plenty of shows, cartoons, etc. You see it everywhere. But primarily growing up, you watched that like Norris and those other movies. Some Asian ones here and there, like of course Enter the Dragon. Some of the Jackie Chan that made it over. Um,
High noon.
hmm?
High
High
noon.
noon.
Mostly Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh,
Hmm.
all right, even better.
And other than that, it was also like saw more of the Japanese stuff, like Street Fighter with Sony Chiba. Uh,
Hey,
Of course, the samurai flicks that were on channels, the Kurosawas and so on. The Zatoichis, of course. Uh, Later on in the early 2000s, IFC, showed a lot of or yeah, that and Showtime. Then when they were good channels, showed a lot of the more foreign and obscure ones. Like that's where I saw the Man with the Flying Guillotines and etc. Deadly Venoms, yada yada yada.
Five Deadly Venoms, Master of the Flying Guillotine,
Yeah,
the Heroic Trio, the Good,
yeah,
the Bad, and the Weird.
yeah. That too. Even the those martial arts horrors ones with the jumping vampires and stuff.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The
It's
Call
the
of
Japanese.
Zheng
Shingeki.
Shi is what you're thinking of there. The Chinese hopping vampires.
Yeah,
Mm.
The
and
Leon
then there's
Chi. No, wait, that's Irish.
Yeah,
there's also
the Leon Shi is the Irish Gaelic term for the fairy lover. Yeah, completely completely different. They're humble,
Very different.
but you get credit for knowing that that is a thing.
But
But
continue,
yeah,
Dark.
plenty of stuff. And as a kid, found it interesting how it was employed. Even like stuff like Batman and stuff. How the movements, how they made it look cool and easy to take down bigger, heavier guys than yourself. Like Star Trek. Even I remember Star Trek 3 when they're breaking Doctor McCoy out and. Sulu comes up and this one guard is yawning. He's like, keeping you busy. And then he just gets up and he's like 3 feet taller than him and bulkier. And I forget entirely what he said, but he pretty much called him tiny. And then when he finally gets Kirk gets McCoy out, he's like throwing him around and against the wall. And don't call me tiny.
I remember that.
So yeah, it's always been there growing up, and I always found it interesting. The mysticism in that, it depends on how far you're willing to just take that in, but mostly the combat, it's great. It's even on a sports
We will
level.
put a pin in
yeah.
that and come back to it when it's my turn. There, Dark.
I'm sure you'll cover that in many ways, in 50 shades of ways.
Bold of you to assume I only
Oh,
have
Lord.
50, but Tish.
But yeah,
Lord.
it was always cool. It was like when you see the prequels with the lights there, all the spinning and that, it's just flash, but it's cool, and that's what a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it was. It was cool, but they made it look effective. That's pretty much it.
that's it. Dark.
Pretty much.
Not even the Stephen Chow movies.
Oh well, I could go on to the later stuff if you want, but I'll leave all that time for Dalton and his 500 essays worth.
Yeah, but no, the definitely the Kung Fu series I really did grow up on as well with David Carradine.
Hmm.
Oh, did you? Oh, wait. Which channel did you watch them?
11, I believe.
Okay, all right. I just want to double check because that's how I watched like Kung Fu with David Carradine as well.
I
Yeah,
believe the
right around 6
originals,
o'clock
when
in
they
the
were
morning.
rerunning for me, were on TNT along with the sequel
Yeah,
series, Legend Continues.
Yeah, yeah.
there was
That's true.
and then there was the Renegade.
Oh yeah. Actually, I forgot. I forgot like Renegade was on TNT along with Kung Fu.
Oh, Renegade before that was on Channel 7 in the evenings.
Mm,
Oh, so it was moved from 7 to TNT.
A lot of shows, a lot of old shows were on network television before they moved up to cable network to stay up to like rerun. Like you're not wrong for finding them on there first. Just know that they came from network television before. So even Baywatch was network television, and Baywatch was on on Channel 13.
Yeah, I remember.
And I guess I gotta throw this out. I don't before I forget it for this Bruce Lee thing, but uh, Marlowe. That we watched a lot of like PI stuff. Perry Mason and stuff. The old Marlowe films based on Raymond Chandler's PI character. The one film I can't remember his actor, but he's a notable actor. But he played Marlowe, and one scene here's Bruce Lee coming in trying to bribe him, and when he's refusing him, he just martial arts karate kicks and punches the entire office into a this wreck. And here's Marlowe just sitting and watching. That was always a fun scene.
Nice.
So you move to Authenticator now.
Okay. I apologize for what is probably going to end up being a slight derailment here because, frankly, I am not a warrior. I'm not martially inclined, and I frequently find things that just get reduced to punching kind of boring. So for me, the thing that I've always found interesting about martial arts was kind of as a gateway to studying Eastern philosophy and Eastern esotericism. I am far more Egg Shen than I am Jack Burton, or far more Uncle than I am Jackie, so to speak, as a reference to Jackie Chan Adventures. Those are the kinds of shows, and I guess I'm kind of like Dark in the sense that for me it's weird because we grew up in an era where there was so much Eastern influence all over the place, whether it was Japanese influence or Chinese influence.
Or Korean.
That you almost did that it almost just became background noise. But for me, the things that really stand out to me about kung fu based content or martial arts based content in general is how much their practical martial arts and the like occult sciences of the Eastern school cross over. Like for example, when I watched Jackie Chan Adventures, which I watched religiously as a kid, it was one of my all-time favorite shows. I basically always wanted to grow up to be Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures because this is something that I noticed even as a kid. The plots of Jackie Chan Adventures are, hey Jackie, go distract the henchmen and or monsters while Uncle does all the actual work, both in terms of research and in terms of actually doing things to the supernatural beings that you couldn't do anything against anyway. So for me, that
Scooby Gang.
Hmm?
They were mostly a Scooby Gang.
Right, but more or less, it was to borrow the Scooby Gang analogy. Uncle was the Velma. He was the one who did all the actual work, while everybody else distracted the henchmen from doing henchman things. But for me, in particular, things like Jackie Chan Adventures, things like Power Rangers, things like, of all things, and I know this is a cheesy example, but I was a kid at the time. Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior actually has a surprising amount of Eastern philosophy and reincarnation motifs in it. Three Delivery is one that not a lot of people remember, and it kind of makes me sad because that was kind of Nicktoons answer to Jackie Chan Adventures was Three Delivery.
Yep, it was.
And
Yeah,
me being a occultist with 19 years of experience, as soon as I got into magic, one of the first things I did was I went hunting for Eastern stuff because all those nostalgic memories of Jackie Chan Adventures and the like. And I can't believe it's taken us this long to mention this, but can we talk about just how great Avatar: The Last Airbender was in terms of both its martial arts representation with the various bending styles, but also the Eastern philosophy.
A long stretch of time. It's just we were working up to a conga line of things.
But it stuns me how much like deep esoteric Eastern philosophy and martial arts ethos Avatar: The Last Airbender worked its way into. For those that are interested in the esoteric side of Taoism and the esoteric side of Confucianism and Eastern philosophy more generally, there's only one author that specializes in translating that to Western languages that I would trust. His name is Jason Reed, but he has like I want to say 10 different books on Eastern mysticism and Taoist sorcery in particular. So if that is something you're interested in for writing purposes or interested in for just research purposes, Jason Reed is the author you're going to want to go to for studying Taoist sorcery and things adjacent to it. There is also a very good book who I can't remember the name, the author of, called The Tao of the Craft, which tries to kind of blend.
Say the first author name again.
Jason Reed. He specializes in books from an academic and practitioner perspective on Taoist and Eastern influence sorcery.
What's the name of one of the books specifically?
The other book that I think is really good. It kind of tries to blend Eastern.
The first book that you mentioned, Dalton.
Which one?
Whatever book that you mentioned first.
I didn't start mentioning books until after I mentioned Jason Reed.
Give me one name.
The book I mentioned is called The Tao of the Craft. It kind of tries to blend Eastern philosophy Eastern mysticism with Western ceremonial magic. It's very interesting in that it specializes in a form of paper talisman that is unique to Eastern mysticism. It's Tao with a T, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Dao, but you know.
Yeah.
No one is going to be that pedantic in English, probably. But yeah, if you want any background in Eastern philosophy or Eastern mysticism and sorcery, the author you're going to want to go for is Jason Reed. He has like 10 different books that are all excellent on the sorcery of the Eastern world.
Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, I could go on, but nobody has time for that, and even I get sick of hearing my own voice after a while.
So you're more of the spiritual kind, not the physical kind of things.
Yeah, again, I'm a lot closer to Egg Shen than I am to Jack Burton, or a lot closer to Uncle than I am to Jade or Jackie. So yeah,
You might like Fearless. It goes deep into the spiritual side of
describe it. Elevator pitch me.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the fighting style that was used in that movie. It wasn't Wing Chun. I believe it was No, you probably know, right?
Yeah.
Was it Wing Chun or was it another style? It was a style that the Chinese government only restricts.
Well, small correction. Jason Reed didn't write The Tao of the Craft. Let me go and grab my copy, and I will tell you who the author of The Tao of the Craft is.
Okay. Type in the private chat. God,
I will when I go and grab it.
No counts. That's 2 for 2. It was one of them. it was a specific martial arts that the Chinese government wanted to practice only. I need to see Best of the Best though. But Dalton, if you're still here, um, hang on. Wikipedia time. Good old reliable Wikipedia.
If you watch Best and Best, only stick with the first one. You could probably get away with the second one, but really the first one's the only good one. Because the first one's all about a competition sport, and then the sequels onward turn into your typical action cheese, where it's versus these bad
No, I don't want
corpos.
Taylor Swift. Jackasses.
You sure?
Type
That
in,
bitch is far
well,
from fearless.
type in Fearless 2006.
Thank you,
Taylor Swift is
Dom.
kind of the Barbie of our is probably the Barbie of another
No, no.
generation.
Let's see.
Wushu. The style was wushu. God dang it! How could Wushu was one of my favorite fighting styles, especially in video games such as True Crime Streets of L.A. I always wanted to study Wushu in my youth, and
Yeah,
Jet Li was always a practitioner of Wushu and a lot of Wing Chun and the like. And since I'm guess on the chopping block now, I guess I might as well just go ahead and explain my journey through martial arts, and it's quite a journey too.
Does it include Police Academy?
It includes a little bit of Police Academy. I vaguely
That was
remember.
always fun with Michael Winslow. Did that talking in the with the sound effects.
I mean, I could tell you about I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Uh, mm.
But no,
My favorite is this your rosary wife?
my thing is, you're, if you were in my shoes, being an inner city kid living in the projects, you're just basically exposed to a lot of things thanks to your uncles. Exposing you to a lot of things, especially Basic Instinct. But one thing that I do appreciate my uncles is definitely opening that window to into the world of martial arts and seeing a whole bunch of things. Not just my uncles, but my family. Period. We were always sitting down at the edge of the bed, or even just on the surface of the bed, just watching these people kicking each other's asses and flying around and stuff like that. Starting with Bruce Lee. They were always getting me into Bruce Lee, renting some of his movies from the general video store that used to be at the Kenneth Hahn shopping plaza. No longer there since I would say 1999 or 1998.
Hmm.
But that's history. So I grew up on a lot of martial arts masters such as Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Though I was always that one kid that was always quote unquote hating on Jackie Chan, mostly due
Hmm.
to him and martial arts being and mixing comedy with the martial arts was never my thing when I was a kid. My speed was more of Jet Li when he entered the scene, and my gateway to Jet Li was the Legend of Fong Sayuk series,
Ooh, nice.
or The Legend, as they were called in
Uh,
America.
Right.
And since then, I was heavily a fanatic of Jet Li. Um, I come to respect Jackie Chan over time due to Armor of God 2 or Operation Condor being my favorite, being the funniest one to me in particular out of all of his stuff. Now
It's still
that
hilarious.
for me in my circle when I would talk martial arts with our friends back in schools. and even in the neighborhood. The talk about Jackie Chan was always the comedy. Yes, we would always talk about the fighting, but it was always the comedy that always get the biggest highlight. And but again, going back to Jet Li, that was more my speed. My gateway was again Legend of Fallen Side You, but what really cemented my love for him was the Fist of Legend when he's fighting that tall Japanese imperial soldier at the end.
Fujita.
Yeah, and
Yep.
he he gets his arm dislocated and he relocates it like manually and just gets his second win. It was always that kind of thing with Jet Li when every time he'll play those roles in the films, he would always, what I loved about Jet Li comparative to Jackie Chan. Now, granted, Jackie Chan will get his ass whooped a lot in his movies, but he always he he would bounce back in between getting his ass kicked, or
It was more
he would get
fast
Hmm.
paced,
Oh
whereas
yeah.
Jet Li gave you a little breather to soak it in.
yeah. In the case of Jet Li, though, Jet Li would get knocked down, but then get his second win and get back on up. Now, granted, there are also other times where there are moves where he would just dominate from beginning to end in those films. But his usual shtick was he would get knocked down for a while in the middle of the film, then get and rise right back on up to get the bad guy in the end in the ass. And that's one thing I always noticed about Jet Li's films compared to the Jackie Chan films. Jackie Chan was always in the middle. He was the Popeye of Chinese cinema. You know?
But he was
I mean, you're
also a
not
good
far off.
Chun Li.
Would you say, Dark?
He was also a good Chun Li.
Yes, he was. City Hunter. City
Yeah.
Hunter. China's adaptation of City Hunter. He slams into a Street Fighter arcade cabinet and becomes first he becomes E Honda and then he becomes Chun Li. Oh my god. Yeah, that it was later. It was later years after seeing Operation Condor and seeing the behind the scenes stunt work that I noticed that Jackie Chan, my goodness, it's a wonder. It is a miracle actually that man has survived so many years of his career.
I mean, what you call him? Oh, like the pop, the Eastern like Popeye. There's also similarities like between him and Ozzy because while Ozzy he survived with so many drug and alcoholic benders with Jackie. I mean, he survived so many stunts like that would have killed like a normal person.
I think the more equivalent thing would be an evil Knievel.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that applies too.
But I'm speaking in terms of his cinema. He's the Hong Kong Popeye of the Trinity, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Jet Li. Now, of course, I did happen upon a few. Like I said, I'm an inner city kid that was eating up martial arts, no matter where it was, be it Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee. You know, branching out to Three Ninjas, Ninja Turtles,
Where is the
Power
virtue?
Rangers. Say again.
And where is the virtue?
Wars of Virtue, of course. Yes, I definitely dig into Wars of Virtue. Michael Jai White, my gateway to him was obviously Spawn,
Mm.
Hmm.
and Universal Soldier: The Return. Shitty movie, but he was great in that film.
Yeah.
Also starring John Claude Van Damme.
And Bill Goldberg as a rapist.
Bill, bro. Speaking of Bill Goldberg, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. Bill Goldberg deserved to have his stardom, not Stone Cold or John Cena. Okay,
I agree.
because no matter what, whenever I saw Bill Goldberg in a film, I was straight was elated to see him more so than Austin or Cena. Because man, Bill Goldberg can play intimidating and funny at the same time, just like the late Hulk Hogan could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Santa movie proved that. Could have been
Oh
better,
yeah.
but he was the highlight of it.
I loved him in Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah.
He
That
Well,
was
was
good
also
too.
he was also in Muppets in Space, even if it was a cameo.
Mm.
my thing is all he needed to do in Back in Action was just stand there and look scary. That's it. That's all you needed, and that's what sold me right there. And him being the side villain, the dragon of the main villain in Universal Soldier 2, loved his lines in Universal Soldier 2, especially especially what he did to old boy in the hospital. Next stop,
Yeah.
intensive care, or his repeated line, "I hate that guy," or what,
Dangerous.
or when he was that's Michael Jai White when he was about to blow up the news reporter lady, woman, expendable. Or
Yep.
my all time favorite line of his, here it goes. Capturing Luke Devereaux, minimum damage. Jumps off the building, misses his mark. Oh shit!
Oh yeah. That's that still gets me laughing every time I would rewatch Universal Soldier: The Return.
I watched it for fun, but yeah, Bill Goldberg was definitely the highlight of that film. But moving on, that's a little sidetrack. Just going straight to the Hong Kong stuff. Definitely kept my eye on Michelle Yeoh after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but before then it was definitely Chow Yun Fat that had my attention as well with the John Woo films. I don't recall watching Hard Boiled earlier in my life. I still need to watch it, but I cannot recall what was the one movie that got me into Chow Yun Fat before Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And my God, though, my goodness, Chow Yun Fat really sold me on the spiritual warrior type of monk ish fighter, more so just as much as the hard boiled, yes, pun intended, cop that can slide down, shimmy down a walking rail with a shotgun in hand, flipping over desks and shooting up paper and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
Michelle Yeoh
yeah,
definitely come out with Michelle Yeoh. Didn't much like Z Zhang uh, all that much. Not saying she was bad, not saying she was terrible. She just, you know, me being me growing up, I always had my eye on the older type lady type in
hmm,
movies. So Michelle Yeoh being at the age that she was at the time of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, she was fairly young, but she was obviously older than Ji Zhang. So I was eyeing her, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So when Ji
But she,
Zhang's story, look, when Ji Zhang's story came out, I was like, I ain't got time for this love story bullshit. I'm more invested in the love
no,
story
no.
between Lee Mubai and oh no, I
Yeah.
forgot her name.
Wait, are you blanking
I'm
on her
blanking on
name?
her name, and I've seen that movie about what 10 times already. Regardless,
Eh,
I was invested in Lee Mubai's love affair with I think her name was Miss Sun.
Yu Sun Lin.
no, no. Yeah,
Yu Lin.
no, yeah, it's Yu Shulien.
His investment in loving you. But regardless, like I love that interaction between him and her when he touches her hand, and he mentions the fact that after all these years I was afraid of touching it, but now when I feel it, it's so rough and coarse from all the sword wielding that you from years of sword wielding.
Hmm.
That he's voicing his regret of never
Right.
having the courage to touch her hand, despite their
Oh,
paths and their schools. Really do love. I love that more than the love story between her and between G. Zhang's character and the thief. Though revisiting it a few times before, I start to appreciate that side story more too. You know.
Yeah.
Moving on though, Silver Hawk. You
Hmm.
guys have you guys want to see more Michelle Yeoh besides everything all at once?
Ooh,
Sorry,
Silverhawk.
everywhere, anywhere, all at once. Definitely check out Silver Hawk. One of our not mostly slept on movies because it doesn't
I
really
agree.
get that much attention. But it also stars Michael Jai White and from Hellboy and Blade 2, Luke Goss. If you don't know who Luke Goss is, Prince Nuada and Jarek Nomek. He was in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah, him.
Who's also a martial arts practitioner too.
Yeah.
But I will like throw out like a fun fact about Lugas is he's also oh, excuse me, he's also a drummer like for a band.
Oh
Was
yeah,
he really?
he definitely was like a performer.
Oh
A lot.
yeah, and actually and like that band, and I kid you not, it's called Bros. They're actually still active, and as mentioned, Lugas is the drummer.
Nice. But yeah, Michelle Yeoh was one thing.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
do remember like watching Silverhawk like years ago.
Yeah, Silverhawk was a fun movie. Very fun movie. Has a nice setup too for a female character as well.
I agree.
That's it's believable to an extent, but
Hmm.
it's a vastly interesting backstory than any other female character that came out in the past few weeks so far. The fact that she's trained in a monk monastery, but her only issue is the fact that she has a problem with restraint, and
Hmm.
she will always get into a lot of trouble because she's always helping her homeboy out. And it was kind of a friendship story more so than a love story between the two, despite them being they're basically platonic friends. Both the main characters, Silverhawk and the police guy, I forgot his name already. It's been a long time, but they were more platonic friends and not lovers in that film. And I like that aspect of that movie too. They don't necessarily have to be lovers. They could just be close friends that
Hmm.
took a different path. She a vigilante, him a police detective. So that's a fun movie. Let me bring up another movie that's basically Wars of Virtue, but is a love letter to all Chinese cinema, and that is Forbidden Kingdom, which is interesting how they set that story up for that film. It stars a Chinese cinema fan that gets, for lack of a better word, well, we'll use both terms, both isekai and portal adventured into the world of Chinese cinema.
And don't forget the actor straight from Dragon Ball Evolution.
He's better in this one though,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's on a journey to rescue the Monkey King.
Hmm.
Sun Wukong?
Yes, but the only reason why people love, well, the real reason why, and I don't fault them for it, I actually celebrate it along with them too, because this is probably the one time, or maybe the second time, don't know really, but it is definitely a rare film to feature both Jackie Chan and Jet Li
And
in
Jet
the
Li.
same movie,
Yep.
because majority of their career they have both all the Trinity. Let's just be fair as well. All the Trinity, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and Jackie Chan have never starred in any movies together.
Well,
Fair to,
but Jackie Chan was an extra in the Enter the Dragon.
oh yeah, that's right.
He died
Hmm.
in the underground base, so
Wow. But anyways, they may have not start directly like top billing together, but obviously they were in some movies together, just hidden somewhere. But this is the one where they were top billing, and that was the selling point of that film.
And this
Which,
is before we got Arnie and Sly together.
mm-hmm, definitely
Mm-hmm.
the Expendables. But the thing is that that was the sad thing about that film. It's it's a great film. Don't get it twisted. It is a really good film. Problem was marketing hurt that film.
Most definitely.
The reason why what I mean by that is that that film was marketing the fight between Jet Li and Jackie Chan. It happens, but for a brief scene. It's a great scene, but everybody was I remember everybody was being disappointed at the fact that it was marketed to them that way, and that was not the basis of that film. Though me being a fan of Chinese cinema, just like the main character, oh my god, I was wet throughout that whole film.
Did you get a towel?
Yes, I did. I dropped myself off too after I was done. But and the reason why I say that, as crude as that sound, there was so much things in there that was basically saying a celebration of what we were coming so far with the Chinese cinema scene thus far. You had hints of House of Flying Daggers, The Bride with White Hair. That was one of my all time favorite horror themed Chinese films. The Bride with White Hair. Don't know about that? It's a movie about a bride with white hair, obviously on the 10, who is stalking a noble, I believe, that wronged her, and it's this hunting group that's been hired to kill her. And throughout that whole film, they're trying to kill her, and she kills them with her white hair. She's also the inspiration for Sindel in Mortal Kombat. Go figure. But they have a character like that in the film, and I was smiling from ear to ear throughout this whole film, ear to ear, just pinpoint, 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 pinpoint. It's like, my goodness, fun movie, only marred by marketing, just like Hugo and many other films of recent years that are actually good, but was harmed by marketing.
Mm.
Tran-
One recent
Transformers One,
example,
for example.
Transformers 1. Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Um, as far as Carradine is concerned, love Carradine in Kung Fu. The Legend Continues. That was the series. Can vaguely remember Kung Fu the movie though, where he was it the movie Dart. If I
I
recall,
don't think so. I think there was only the series and the sequel and the well, less said about the shitty reboot, the better.
oh fuck that reboot.
I don't know. At least there was
Yeah.
a TV special.
Could be. Moving on, moving on. Loved him in Kill Bill Volume 2. Though I do not agree with his analogy to Superman.
Mm.
It's a good analogy, but I disagree with it. And me being a
Mm-hmm.
Superman fan, I have to disagree.
Oh yeah, no, I remember like when I watched that, I heavily disagreed. I would disagree like with that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, like
There was
the
an
analogy.
'86 made-for-TV movie. Okay.
Yeah, it was written by someone who has never read a Superman comic. I can almost guarantee you.
We're not gonna
It it,
get that deep into it.
it would be more true if they were talking about Batman, but for some reason they went with Superman instead.
We're not gonna get that deep into it. Just mentioning that side comment.
It'd be
Look,
like
but
me writing historical romance.
fun fact though, Michael Jai White was also in Kill Bill Volume 2 in a
Mm-hmm.
deleted scene that will never see the light. Well, probably have seen the light of day because how many times that movie has been re-released, I will never count. I will never be able to count. But there's a deleted scene where we actually get to see more Bill action than what was shown in the theatrical,
which
which was
was
at the
almost none.
pretty much next to none, like one to none. Um, in the deleted scene, he ends up fighting Michael Jai White's character, who come to slay him, and in front of Uma Thurman, no less, the bride, Beatrice Kiddo. So go check that one out
To be
if
honest,
you
he
guys.
could have done better.
Hmm.
You're funny. I mean, he did go with L Driver, and even then, that's kind of a slight upgrade.
Mm.
Vivica, I don't know about Vivica. Maybe you should have stuck with. Maybe you should have went with Oren.
Yeah, the French Jap.
Ooh, she ain't too bad, but but can she help in a fight?
Mm.
Never mind, never
She
mind.
was de-armed before she could do anything. So
Right. Pun intended.
yeah.
But what I will say is throughout my journey, anything martial arts related, I will always stick to. I would just eat it up. Stephen Chow, for example, really kind of helped me shift gears a bit with the spiritual side and the love. In the case of Stephen Chow, though, Stephen Chow writes from the perspective of a lover of martial arts film, big time.
Mhm.
You could see it in his works, like Shaolin Girl, the mostly loved for Shaolin Land, fighting uh, the Shaolin way
Yeah,
of martial arts.
Shaolin Wushu, aka Shaolin Kung Fu.
Regardless, the Shaolin way of martial arts, he's written from the perspective of a fan of that, an appreciation for that. That's probably because he was taught that's the teachings of Shaolin.
Correct.
So he's probably given them their roses through his movies. And again, the most prominent one, most remembered, and most talked about is the Kung Fu Hustle movie. Most because I believe that movie made it to theaters. Shaolin Soccer always got played on Showtime,
Hmm.
somewhere on Showtime or Cinemax, one of those network channels.
And he
But I
kind
definitely.
of did go more extra out in a very unique way. Was Kung Fu Hustle that kind of was appealing to everybody.
I
Hmm.
concur.
It was great.
I used to do the frog. I used to do the frog stance.
I can some picture that you blowing your face up.
But the big appeal about Stephen Chow's films, they almost look like Mel Brooks films, or in the case, Hot Shots films.
Hmm.
They look they're love letters to Shaolin cinema, but at the same time parody Shaolin cinema too. Yes, I've seen Into the Badlands was eating that shit up too because of the love of martial arts in that show.
It was okay.
It was okay. The only sad thing about it is that it's never going to get continued because it left on an open
Cliffhanger.
ending,
Yeah,
open
it's a
ending.
it's a crying shame, and what was similar to Into the Badlands, which is a work of martial arts that I love as well. Warrior is in that same boat as well.
Man, fuck AMC.
Yeah.
Deny us another season of Into the Badlands, but God forbid we are denied a new Walking Dead bullshit side story show. I get
Well,
that that's their fucking bread and butter, But they
Hey,
had other
TV is
shows.
dying in general. They got to do whatever they can to keep the ratings up.
I guess
Same
so. I'm like,
thing with the people who were liking Pantheon. That was kind of going places, and they kind of
Mhm.
axed that for more Walking Dead.
like
They
seriously.
beat it. They beat it to death. The best years of The Walking Dead are behind it. Trust me, I
You
watched
can
every
have your
season.
You
Walking
could
Dead,
even
but
say it's
damn.
dead.
It's
It
dead, Jim.
it didn't even make it halfway through its original run still alive,
Hmm.
either literally or metaphorically.
Is
My
it
thing
kind
is,
of funny we're talking about how dead a dead horse of a zombie show is?
Yes, and no amount of electrolysis can bring this particular corpse back to life.
my
I think
whole
we've
thing
discovered
is
that.
they could still have The Walking Dead. Why y'all need to deny us our love for martial arts?
Because TV is dying and they'll have to do whatever they can to keep the ratings up, like I said.
And
Man, I
Z
sure hope the
Nation was
West.
better.
All I'm saying is, I hope the Western cinema lovers still got their hells on wheels. Just
They
saying,
do.
good, good for them.
Good.
Back to Jet Li, and as I said before, anything with him in it, I was on it, except for the Lethal Weapon series. I wasn't a big time watcher of Lethal Weapon that much. Didn't really pay too much attention. Didn't so cue my shot when somebody told me that he was in it. I was like, oh, I would have been on that in a heartbeat because he was in it. But now he's not enough to make me want to watch it. But I digress. I started with his Legend of Feng Sai Yu, the Tai Chi Master. Oh, Tai Chi Master is my. I think you might like the Tai Chi Master uh authenticator.
Hmm.
You Jet Li Jet. I would say Jet Li would be more your speed if you were into like. Yes, it does have a lot of punch kick and all that stuff, but his stuff tend to dive a lot into the spiritualism
If
and
you want a
Interesting.
science fiction angle, watch The One.
yeah, the definitely love the one. It's silly, it's
Me
goofy.
too.
It deals in parallel universes, but don't really explore that concept too much.
Can
More,
we just let that concept die already? Like I
Hey
know
now.
early
I know
days.
it's
It's
I know
early.
it's a well trodden gripe at this point, but I think it's safe to say Hollywood has ruined whatever faith the public once had in
Well,
the
this was
multiverse concept.
2001, so this is before
Yeah.
the multiverse hang up.
Right, but obviously it's before it died. But let's just be real here. The, if average Joe public never hears the word multiverse ever again, it'll be too soon.
But it doesn't
Eh,
really focus on the multiverse. It just makes it mention, like, yeah, there's a multiverse, but it's only in a limited amount. And the
Mm.
concept is Guy wants to kill all of his alternate selves because the more other cells die, the stronger each one gets. And what happens
Ah,
when
I have
one
I have
becomes
I,
a singular one? Well,
I,
he's
ha- I
God.
have I have been there and done that. So good for him.
Moving
Well, I
on.
think they've abused the multiverse concept, and that's all I'll say in that.
Moving on. The one was my favorite. Kiss of the Dragon was another favorite of mine because
Hey.
the way how Jet Li the way how they framed Jet Li's fight style, the many times he would catch dudes with those hands of his, it looked like he was just straight up just backhanding people for days, and they didn't even realize he backhanded. So Kiss of the Dragon was a fun film, but one of my top favorites of his that came into the states and into theaters that I never got a chance to see in theaters. I regret it to this day, and I regret donating my DVD copy to the Salvation Army fucking 9 years ago. Black Mask.
ooh.
One of my favorites
Ooh.
is Black Mask, where he's playing. I'm sure you guys are noticing a pattern here when I'm saying this stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
no, the whole Black Mass movie where he's a vigilante that's almost styled after Kato from Blue Hornet. That's some great. That was great because he was a super soldier in that one,
At least he
and he
didn't
was
do Black Scorpion. Ooh.
wow. He was he was a super soul. He. This concept I was like was a killing machine that did not want to be that no longer wanted to be a killing machine anymore. You know
Wasn't it
Mhm.
also a bit Universal Soldier as well?
I was about to
Yeah,
mention
you,
soldiers like Universal
yeah,
Soldier,
you can say that. Yeah,
much like
but also,
can I talk?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm waxing. I'm reminiscing, guys. I'm giving.
Okay.
I'm actually giving you guys a time capsule of shit that I've seen in my youth that I was able to see in my youth.
All right. Continue
Yeah.
waxing off and on.
Wax on.
Sweet.
Speaking of, yeah, definitely love the Cry Kid films. Would love them. Would watch them every time they come on network television. Um, yeah, Black Mass was basically just the weapon that did not want to be a weapon. Your Short Circuit, your Universal Soldier, and your Zeta projects.
Mm.
Didn't Star Trek Next Generation have an episode based on that? A guy who was pumped full of all sorts of chemical shit and turned into the ultimate predator, and then when the civilization he was from started peacetime, they were criminalizing all the super soldiers they made, but they didn't know how to unmake. Is this ringing anyone else's bells, or am I dating myself here?
Yeah, they missed
Hey.
something. I'm trying to avoid a Star Trek comparison here.
It was in one of the earlier seasons. I just don't remember the episode title, and it's annoying me that I don't remember the episode title.
It's okay. Yeah, Black Mass was another one. My two favorite that kind of deals in the human condition mostly and the spiritual side of the human condition or the spiritual side of martial arts of his. Actually, three: Hero, Unleashed, and Fearless. Now, Hero is all about how the Chinese kingdom was formed. I'm not sure which dynasty it was formed, but it was well before the Great Wall was built. Supposedly, it's is I'm going to put that under historical fiction per se. Okay, don't at me, but that's basically what it is. And this was around the time again where the wuxia scene was really kicking off after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So after Hidden Dragon, you had House of Flying Daggers, which I come to kind of appreciate that movie a bit more. My first viewing of it wasn't positive to say the least, mostly
Yeah.
because it was a love triangle centered story, centered
Oh no.
triangle. Spoilers for anybody who's not seen House of Flying Daggers. But it also stars Ji Zhang, which again, not my favorite already, so not off to a great start on that one. At that time, mind you, at that time, did not like her that much. Not saying she was bad. Not saying she was not saying she did anything evil to warrant me to be disinterested in her. However, but Larry, you know her. She was in Rush Hour 2. Is she asleep while muted?
I'm not sure if she knows it. Leia, your mic's not on.
Larry, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
I was saying, you know who Ji Zhang is. She was in Rush Hour 2.
Yeah, which what was she the one that which one of the was she
She
the
was the Interpol or whatever looking into the counterfeit money. The one with this.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't this. She was the evil chick. Right.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
Look,
to say. Which one was she? Was she the one with
I'm not
the
gonna fight you because you're
Jinto? Was she the head of Jinto? No, that was the first one.
She was part of the triad.
Yeah, the triad. Okay, yeah, she was part of the triad.
Ricky
I
Tan.
don't know her name, but now that you
Yeah.
told me, yes, she was one of the bad girls. Yes,
She was the one
Like
Chris. Uh, fuck. What was his name?
Tucker.
Chris Tucker
Carter.
was
Yes,
dealing with Carter. Dealing with.
yeah,
don't think
that was
don't,
her.
don't think I'm gonna take you easy take you on easy because you're a girl. I'm gonna pretend you're a man, an incredibly gorgeous man. Well, I can take out to dinner someday.
Okay,
I remember
but
that.
or
Remember that scene.
But yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff too.
Oh yeah.
She's been in quite a few stuff. It's just that she's always have resting bitch face. That's what turns me off on her.
Well, it was said she never learned English good, so she had to try
I
to
don't care about her
compensate.
damn English. I
Well,
care
that's
about
why
whether
they
or not she smiles.
that's all she knows how to do.
You think I care about her English? I care about her smiling. She barely smiled in movies I've seen her in.
If you've seen the behind the scenes, she smiles more behind the camera than on the
I
camera.
know,
If you
I
look at
know.
the
I
outfit.
don't. I don't think she's not good at English is a very good excuse, considering that poor guy from Squid Game learned English specifically to be in the Acolyte. And despite the fact that the Acolyte was a garbage fire of biblical proportions, of Gehennian proportions even, uh, nevertheless,
Not the
he did
cane, no
successfully manage to learn English so he could be in the Acolyte.
corner.
Poor guy.
Sliding him towards the corner, sliding him towards the corner. Since you mentioned Koreans now, I do have to bring up one particular Korean, Beyond Lee.
Ooh. All right.
And for those who don't know, frontman from Squid Game, also Storm Shadow from the shitty GI Joe films. And now y'all went silent.
I've seen
No,
that
no.
movie.
Keep
It's
going.
just yeah.
No, he was no. Don't get me wrong. He was great at Storm Shadow. Just letting you guys know. I'm
Oh,
just,
very
I'm
much.
just, I'm just like surprised that he. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, our next animation spotlight, K-pop Demon Hunters. He's the main villain, Guima.
Oh,
oh,
No, no.
that's gonna be oh,
See,
that's
I was
fun.
surprised.
I was
See, I was
surprised.
surprised like to hear him after such a long time. Like, oh my gosh, he's Weed Ma. Nice.
I was surprised because I watched K-pop Demon Hunters like days after I finished Squid Game season 3. Yes, Dom, I know it's called Part 2. Shut up. Semantics. Anyways, again, Journey. Now, now I bring up Asian, mostly Asian fighters, and I suddenly mention American fighters. I will have to highlight a few of them too that I really do like. Michael Dudikoff from the American Ninja franchise. Sadly, he never took off that much as a action star.
I know,
Sad,
right?
very sad. Michael Dudikoff, American Ninja, Timac. Timac is the most tragic one out of between him and Dudikoff because he only had one movie, and then he
Yep.
started drugs and disappeared for a while, and then he got cleaned. And I hope he stays clean, because Jesus, when you see him today, oh my God, please stay off the drugs, sir. Please, 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 please heal, 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 heal. Do not end up like Vandy Six, because that's another tragic figure that we lost to drugs too. Now she didn't stay
Mm-hmm.
on. She got clean and she became a born again Christian, but the damage to her body from the drugs took hold. Enough of that. That's all I will say about that. Cynthia Rothrock, I did peeped her out a few times. Had this documentary video VHS that talked a lot about martial arts films. And one of them that caught my eye and that I actually had the pleasure of watching on cable was Duel to the Death.
Ooh.
incredibly crazy film. I mean, I'm talking about balls to the wall action, balls to the wall carnage, balls to the wall everything. You got dudes jumping off their swords in mid-air. You got dudes spinning in mid-air. You got dudes even uh
It's to be believed.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil. Y'all need to
No,
see.
no. Just
Y'all
see
need to
it.
see Duel to the Death. It's got samurai. It's got ninjas. It's got ninjas blowing themselves up. It's got ninjas exploding. It is one crazy martial arts film, and I love it. Love it so much.
Does it have rapping ninjas though? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
No, neither does it has rapping ninjas from Afro Samurai. Now anime is an interesting thing
If
too.
I had a nickel for every time there were rapping ninjas in something, I would have 2 nickels, which is a lot. But it's weird
Watch
that
Afro
that is
Samurai.
like
That now I won't get into anime that much because that'll take us all night, and that's a whole other catalog that I can name. Fighting games, briefly, love fighting games. Can never be my uncles in fighting games. Want revenge though, still to this day, and they're old, so I got an advantage now. I
You
don't
got
I don't give a
experience.
damn if y'all calling me unsportsmanlike. I'm fucking dirty as shit in fighting. Okay, I can be proud of that. I ain't ashamed. If we ever get down on some Mortal Kombat, I can fuck them up now. So I ain't 6 no more. I ain't 5 no more. I can listen.
oh,
You been in jail for how long? You ain't familiar with this game. Yeah. I want that rematch, Uncle. I want that rematch, Unc.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh no. You bro, you don't know how intense I get when it came down to fighting games and me and my uncles. Whenever time they won,
turns out he had access to video games inside prison.
He's out.
No.
So we can have that rematch. We can have that rematch. My thing is years of fighting them in fighting games and losing has awakened that fighter in me, that dog. I was like, man, when I get older, I'm gonna beat your ass in fighting games. I'm gonna beat your ass in Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. Ooh, and when I learned Tekken, ooh, I was like, I can't wait to play this with my uncle. I can whoop his ass with this one now. Finally, a fighting guy I can whoop his ass with. Soul Calibur.
Oh,
How much
wait, I
how
was
much more
gonna say, like,
embarrassing is it gonna be if
Wolf
you
has
lose
become
again
the beast
now?
Right,
itself
right.
to run
After
back.
all that shit, what's gonna happen when he kicks your ass yet again?
Ooh, you know, it'd be insulting. Authenticator. You know, it'd be the most insulting is if he's not familiar with those games and he still whoop my ass.
Yep, that's what the comedic gods of irony are probably gonna do to you someday.
I was like, man, like I'm just saying, like fighting games are my jam. I don't play them as much as I used,
He's just gonna idiot savant it because he can.
right?
For a
Right.
fucking reason.
Jesus, man.
It,
Well, if
it,
you came out of prison, always play Ivy. That
yep,
might help you win.
yep. Or Maxi.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Taki, because bodies do, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
Digressing. Fighting games was my thing too. Not so didn't play them as much as I did back then versus now because I will always play them with my friends, my brother, most of my brother. We had the Dragon Ball
Hmm.
Z Budokai trilogy. I bought him Tenkaichi, because I was done at that point. I didn't even when I first tasted Tenkaichi 1, I didn't want to touch it no more. He liked it. I bought it for him for his birthday because I'm the big brother and I love him. But when it came to Soul Calibur, we were jamming on that. When it came to Tekken, we were jamming on that. Me and my friends jammed on that. Tekken 6, my friend whooped my ass in that one. Still want that rematch with him too. can whoop his ass.
Wolf is apparently on his revenge arc, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we have learned today. Wolf
Nah,
is on his revenge arc.
I'm just a salty Vegeta in fighting games. I'm just a salty Vegeta. It's like
I reiterate, he's on his revenge arc, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, if our real leader is a salty Vegeta, then I'm Goku because I don't hold
oh, your
grudges.
ass is Gohan. Shut up. Stop that lying. The true Goku here is Dark Stranger.
Thank you.
Anyways,
Out of all the other fighting games, which one's your favorite?
Dark would have been Tenshinhan.
I don't have a favorite fighting game.
Okay.
I really don't have. I really don't have a favorite fighting game. It's just more of just
What works and what you can have the most fun with others was always my thing when it came to fighting games.
when you put it like that. It was always Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Bloody Roar Primal Fury.
Ooh,
I
Bloody
had
War.
that, actually.
Johnny the Bat.
Dude, it is still crying shame that the Bloody War like is not. They're not getting any more entries because it is a series that has ripe with potential.
You want to get kaiju with it? Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Ooh, nice.
Godzilla Fu, which he showed off in the 70s with his flying drop kick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where his tail's just dragging on the ground.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like a kangaroo. Yeah, definitely. Destroy All Monsters Melee was a fun one that we played all the time. Me and my brother played it non-stop. That and Custom Robo. No, that's not a fighting game technically. That's a shooter game that has a fighting game mechanic to it.
Okay.
Definitely check out Custom Robo if you have a GameCube final.
No, but I would want to get a video game emulator, though.
Oh, you want
Guilty
a Soja
Gear.
Boy?
Guilty
No.
Gear. I love me some Guilty Gear. Me and my friends will get together play some Guilty Gear all the time. And for the most part, I only play Guilty Gear only for the music. Technically, for the music.
Well, yeah,
which
its arc
Guilty Gear
system
was.
works. And considering frickin' Blaze Blue, yeah.
Oh, I was on Blaze Blue for a while until Chrono Phantasma came out. I was like, I'm done. I don't even know where the fuck this story is going. I don't even know where it began. I'm lost. I'm done. I did have Persona Ultimates, Persona 4 Ultimates. That was a fighting game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Guilty Gear to use?
Favorite Guilty Gear? Soul Bad Guy. The
Chip.
Guilty Gear himself. The Guilty Gear
Alright.
himself.
Mm-hmm.
Him along with Kai Kisuke.
Wow. Okay.
Good choices. I always ran Chip or Bikin.
I like Chip.
Yeah.
And Testament. I will play Testament, but only because I like his walk animation.
Brother loved False, but that was also because he was bald and he was going bald.
No, but that was when I was in my Dante Virgil phase. So anything that resembled too much of Dante and Virgil, I was always on them. So Soul Bad Guy being red and Kai Kisuke being blue. Immediately Dante Virgil, even though they're not brothers in story, they're just good friends, turn rivals. Now, brothers-in-law, they're not in-laws.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Kai, why would you do that? I'd bop you on your head for that. Fucking nasty. Nasty. Anyways, American star Scott Adkins was definitely another one that I really was keeping an eye on, especially when he was Yuri Boyka in the Undisputed franchise and his Ninja franchise that really got slept on. Didn't really get much traction, though I was smiling from ear to ear when he showed up in John Wick 4.
That's true.
Why did they have to put him in a fat suit?
At least it wasn't what they did to it in Doctor Strange 2016. They completely and utterly wasted him in that. I don't even think his character was named.
Look, man, he did way better than Ika Uwais and Yahya Rahan in fucking Force Awakens. They didn't even
This
get
is,
to do shit but shoot guns and run away.
this
At
Mm-hmm.
least
is
he,
this is also true.
at least he got to kick Doctor Strange ass for a little while before he got axed.
Yeah, it's another one of those cases of with an actor this talented, you could have made him a like main villain, but you didn't because reasons.
He got Ray Park, and I love Ray Park too. Ray Park is a great guy. Sad that he's under fire for some reason, but Ray Park, Toad from the first X-Men movie, and also Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace,
Yeah,
who's been in a lot of stunt work. Though those are
And
the
in
only
X
two.
versus Sever too.
That's right, he was in that shitty movie, along with that shitty ass adaptation of King of Fighters,
Mm.
where he was Rugal.
Mm.
Sad thing is, he would have worked best as Billy Khan, and they never cast him as Billy Khan. What was they thinking?
Missed opportunity.
And I did mention Luke Goss. Luke Goss had my eye on him, but unfortunately, we don't really see much of him in major studios anymore after Hellboy the Golden Army. He fell off real badly. I'm sure he was doing some movies on the side. Dare I say he could have been in Mortal Kombat. He could have been Reptile. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, Robin Shou.
Yeah, no, with Luke Goss, with his face structure, he would have been Baraka.
Yeah, he would have
Yeah.
worked as Baraka too. But again, back to
Robin
Mortal
Shou.
Kombat. Robin Shou and Lyndon Ashby, great guys, great martial artists.
Those are
Sandra,
$500 sunglasses, asshole.
yep, Sandra Hess in the second film, fine, very fine, but I don't think she's a martial artist. She didn't scream that much.
I don't know, but she didn't seem too physically incapable. But it did seem like they were sidelining her, probably because she wasn't the original actress.
Mm-hmm. And the original
That's the
actress was
actress who
really
played
good.
Sonya in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Is that right or no?
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Just want some clarification.
Yeah, Sandra Hess is the second Sonya. The first Sonya, she was definitely the martial artist.
Yeah.
Oh, and we gotta mention we can't not mention WMAC Masters, which had a whole host of martial arts, which was also front runner by Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon Lee,
Mm-hmm.
which one of them was in two of them actually. Excuse me, two of them. Scorpion and Liu Kang's first combatant was in WMAC Masters. Scorpion, I believe he was either Red Dragon or Superstar. No, Olympus. Excuse me, Olympus. And the Machine was the combatant that Liu Kang first fought.
Sub-Zero.
You're right. Olympus was Sub-Zero. If you saw Olympus in WMAC Masters, which is free on YouTube, go check that out. That is Sub-Zero. Was it the first movie or the second movie?
It was in the first movie.
Yep.
I thought he was in. I thought he was in Austin. Oh,
He was in.
The
Yeah, he
second
was in.
movie?
He was in the second movie, but he didn't meet him until later. That was
That
Kuai
was
Liang
Kuai
anyway.
Liang.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, was he or was he not in the second movie as Sub-Zero?
And
we
I'm
just
not sure if
confirmed
he
it.
was.
Yes. What I'm
he
saying
was?
is, I could have sworn that two of the actors switched places though, where you had the original Sub-Zero from the first film playing Scorpion, and you had Scorpion playing Sub-Zero in the second film. I could be wrong.
Oh.
Which given the recent reboot continuity, that's kind of hilarious.
Ugh.
I'm just saying that yeah, like production value, and budget concerns, um, that I'm highlighting the funny side of things on that front is that the fact that original Scorpion from the first film played Sub Zero in the second film, and then you had Olympus playing Scorpion in the second film, and I don't know. We'll have to research that when we get around to talking about those movies at
Okay.
some point.
Yeah.
I want to make sure to confirm that one completely before I shoot myself in the foot on that one.
Okay.
More American martial artists. Okay, I'm drawing a blank right now.
More American martial artists. What about the guy who played Rocky Balboa?
Sylvester Stallone. You want? Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is
Boxing's
pretty
a
good.
martial art.
Yeah.
Same thing with Carl Weathers, the late Carl Weathers himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was thinking about recent ones that have been making some headways in their craft as stuntmen and Amy Johnston.
I was gonna bring her up.
She was she starred in her own little side project called Lady Bloodsport or Lady Blood Fight. But she was also known as part of the female characters in that one Bat in the Sun YouTube series called Superpower Beatdown. She was Harley Quinn twice in that series. But she was also Android 18 in this fan-made History of Trunks series called Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope. But yeah, she's definitely her along with I'm also highlighting some stunt women who are
Okay.
also practitioners in martial arts, along with I forgot her name. I follow her too. She's the one that did that incredible lightsaber spin tricks. I forgot her name. I think her name was Samantha Smith. I have to look her up and share her. Sorry, blanking.
Well, since he brought up John Wick, an actor who was pretty good in roles, but never given the prime light he was. He was in 3, I think. Mark Dacascos, who also did The Crow Show and
Mark
other-
Dacascos. He also did Only the Strong, which was a capoeira centered movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Dacascos, I gotta give him props. He's a versatile stuntman, versatile martial arts, and a versatile actor. He's been in so much stuff that warrants him to do a lot of things. Capoeira being one of them. That was a surprise there. I was like, him doing capoeira. This motherfucker do everything. He's almost a jack of all trades in fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I confused him for Brandon Lee, it was the eyebrows.
Shame.
The eyebrows. It was the eyebrows. Definitely got to talk about Brandon Lee and Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire was my favorite movie of Brandon Lee besides The Crow.
I agree. No, my favorite. It's a favorite of mine too.
Fun movie. Love that to death. Watched it 3 times, sadly, because only my grandma has that VHS. I could go on, and we've been 2 hours. 30
It's almost 2:45 here.
I guess
Yes.
to throw a shout out, not all of his movies were great, but really the one I would enjoy is Under Siege, but Steven Seagal, and before he got very fat and stupid, and just old.
The only movie
No,
of Steve
not
Seagal
bad.
that I liked was Mark for Death.
Mm.
And Exit Wounds, I have a soft spot to that one too, because only because Michael Jai White was in it, along with Bill Duke. but Steven Seagal was not the best in that film either. They tried some weird shit with him where he's trying to do all that wire work and shit, and he obviously did not look good doing it. It was weird. Um, Donnie Yen, I'm gonna really mention Donnie Yen. After seeing Ip Man, I started seeing more of him over time. That's when I discovered him in Wing Chun, and remembering that he was also in Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
He was
yeah.
the first. He was Flying Spear, the first assassin that Nameless fought. That was him. Um, I did bring up Fearless. Um, I'll end off with these because I briefly mentioned them and I didn't go into detail on these three. Jet Li's three films that really spoke to me was Unleashed, Fearless, and Hero. Hero being a tale of tales woven into each other that gives an account to things and tend to contradict each other, but it keeps you on your toes on what's real and what's true and what isn't. What isn't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I loved about Hero most of all, besides the fighting and the swordplay. Unleashed is once again that story of the weapon that does not want to be a weapon anymore. That when they find their humanity, they decide to be gentle, kind, and he was raised to be a dog. Learned to find his humanity again with a blind girl, no, a blind man, Morgan Freeman of all people, and I'm gonna say autistic girl.
Does anyone remember that one martial arts movie about a dog disciple?
A dog disciple. It wouldn't be happy. It wouldn't happen to be rock and roll dog, would it?
Maybe. It was a murder mystery where a dog decided to find out who murdered his master, and it was something akin to having a giant Airedale Terrier do kung fu.
Don't know. Then
I forget the dog's
interesting to
breed.
watch though. Definitely. Definitely love uh Unleashed though. Unleashed being one of my favorite. I keep saying favorites. I have a lot of favorite Jet Li films, but it's the one that spoke to me a lot too. Considering that there was a lot of stuff that was Jet Li really pushing his limit right then and there. Especially doing different. He had two forms of fighting in that film, the aggressive form, and then there's the gentler form, and you can see how he transitions between the two in one scene. So I love that one. Fearless was all about, was centered around a historical figure, mind you, the founder of Wushu, and his name is Hong Yu Jai.
Ooh.
Yes, it was
Mm-hmm.
it was the story about the founder of Wushu, Hong Yu Jai. Um, Again, putting that also in a bit of historical fiction, or just more of a glamorization of a figure, because considering how China tells their stories these days now, so you can kind of question whether or not it's Chinese propaganda or not. But not here to debate that. Not here to discuss that either. What I love about that film was if you follow that story, it's a story of how aggression can lead you to bad times and lead you at your lowest point. But when you find your way into a place of sanctuary and peace and serenity, and you come back a better person for it, and you are correcting your mistakes now that you've gotten away from the chaos. Sad, sad movie though. Very sad. It will leave you crying. Fearless. It's like
Hmm.
every once in a while, whenever time I watch that film, I will get teary eyed or tears come out my eyes because there's the fun side of things where he does the fighting, but there's also still the slow and sad side of things too. But there's also the peaceful scenes that will make you cry happy. So yeah, it's one of those fine movies that I watch. I used to watch religiously, but yeah, it's one of my favorite. That one also got bad marketing too. You want to know what the marketing was? Hmm.
Um,
Jet Li's final movie.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
It was marketed as Jet Li's last movie, as in this is going to be the last movie he's ever going to star in. What happened after that? He was in that.
movie.
He was in that bullshit remake of Mulan, along with Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan
Wait, you mean the
and
one
Donnie
that had a
Yen.
concentration camp in the background?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh my.
along with Michelle Yeoh. She got a fine no. She got an award winning movie.
The only thing I can say for that movie is that the villain was slightly more interesting than what the fuck was his name, Shan Yu in the original. But you could have improved the villain without fucking over everything else about that movie.
All I'm saying is they had A-list Asian cinema actors in there, and they put them in this shitty ass movie directed by a
Oh,
white woman.
oh, the funniest part was probably not funny for the others, but it was watching the fans of the historical original story rip that thing apart.
The thing is, I'm trying to remember whether or not Fearless was done before or after Forbidden Kingdom, though.
Before.
Yep, it was done. So yeah, I wouldn't say he just disappeared and then ended up on Mulan. He after Fearless, he was in Forbidden Kingdom. I was like, that advertisement was bullshit. But I'm glad. I'm still glad that Jet Li is still doing some work along with Jackie Chan. But then they didn't. Isn't Jet Li sick right now?
He was, but not anymore.
He's been looking sickly lately. But retired Jet Li. Look, I'm your fan. I will be your biggest fan to the day I die. Even if you did something wrong, I'll be a fan. But as your fan, I say retire. If you listen to this, love what you did, love what you worked. Start your retirement run. You too, Michelle Yeoh. You guys did enough. You made a black boy believe that he can do some martial arts and fly. Same with you, Young Fat. Yeah, you.
If it weren't for the bullshit hatred of Tibet, I think Michelle Yeoh could have easily been the Ancient One in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, would have been perfect casting. I don't mind Tilda Swinton though.
No, I don't mind her, but the issue
We know,
is
we
that
know.
I did.
is the whole
Leia.
we have to please the CCP or else we'll get tech feared. Like
Oh my
that
God, Leia.
the whole
Woman,
impetus behind her casting is the issue. It's nothing wrong with her. It's that what in the fuck was going on with that movie?
my thing is, Leia kept her size up until now.
Well, yeah, it's like well, first of all, it's getting very late over here, on my
I
end.
know, I
Well,
know.
Yeah, it's almost
I'm
3 in the morning, dude.
I'm
What the
preparing to
fuck?
wrap it up.
yeah, it's
I
Monday,
I didn't give y'all a
and
fucking life story trove of me loving cinema, just being the
and
biggest besides Dark and
mhm.
Dom here, the biggest. I guess I won the lot. I won that competition by just again being neck deep, damn near chin deep in
Yeah,
in,
late
in
and
martial arts cinema in
right,
all forms.
and martial arts cinema is not my cup of tea, so that's
But you
why I
gotta
can.
understand to close off on this. This is basically my life growing up. It's like we 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 were always struggling. My mom was struggling. She was raising two boys, you know. So this was obviously an escape for us all the time. My brother would sit down next to me, watch this stuff, and we always imitate this stuff all the time when we were growing up. this was life to us. This was our escape. This was our peace and our
There's
imagination
probably also
being
something to
fed.
be said for it being a masculine role model for you as well. If we're
Yeah.
if we're going that if we're going that route.
So yeah, I know I took so much time throughout this thing. That's why I saved myself for last, because this was life for me. I'm getting a little sentimental right now and nostalgic.
Well, that's okay. I understand. That's why I always tell you, if it's a genre that is not the passion that you have for this one, I bow out so that you can enjoy talking about it, be free to talk about it, express yourself and what it means to you. Just like you said, this is your child, this is you growing up. Same for me with Star Wars and Marvel and all the other genres I'm in.
Yeah,
So
it was
I
an
give you,
interesting it
yeah,
was an interesting look at what makes Wolf Wolf,
right.
frankly, as somebody who's relatively new to this particular group of cretins here. That being said, it is almost 3 in the morning, and I have shit to do. So
I got work in the
What
morning
he,
too.
what he
Like
said,
that.
what he said, woof woof. I was gonna say, good doggy. It's
Look
just how
here,
he's, yeah.
look here, damn it! Like thank everybody for being here. Those one of you now, I guess that's Ironcast, and those nonsense motherfuckers keep popping in and out. So tune in next time for tomorrow, where we're gonna be talking about a Netflix triumph for the first time, surprisingly. That's not Squid Game, and that is K-pop Demon Hunters. We'll be doing our animation spotlight of that while it's still fresh, while everybody is
Did you guys do one for Tresse? You should do Tresse at some point if you're looking for Netflix triumphs.
I'll
Tresse
reserve
is
that for
freaking
next year.
amazing.
I'm reserving that
Okay,
for next year.
good. Just as long as it's in the pipeline somewhere.
Yes, a lot of stuff we gotta do that's still in the works. I just try to pick and choose what season, what month, what day to do it. I'm going. I'm working on my whole shtick here, if you will.
Take your time.
Well,
But yeah,
oil it and rub it out, and clean up after yourself.
anyways, so K-pop Demon Hunters is tomorrow. Tune in for that tomorrow. Next week we're continuing Blue Gender, the next and possibly the rest of the series, for that matter, next week.
Meatballs.
Yes, more meatballs and Brussels sprouts. What's on the menu for next week, Dom? Next Thursday.
Well, next Thursday's episode of the Room Millennials is that this is we're gonna talk about like fandoms and gatekeeping, and it's like to keep it simple. We're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk about like fandoms that we're part of even before we even knew like what a fandom is.
A boring one. Gotcha. Anyways, the Hound of the South, everybody, Dominic Powell.
Well, I trust. Well, I see where my trust is with you, fearless leader.
Wah, wah, wah,
You gonna
wah.
say bye?
Yeah,
Bye.
besides this is what I have to deal with as a second in command. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode of the Real Millennials. But until then, this is the Hound of the South, Donnie Powell, signing off.
The Warrior of Life Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell, that way you get notified of our latest videos. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Go visit his channel. He's got a trove of content there.
Yes, we need to talk about Resident Evil.
Yeah, we gotta invade his channel one day.
Yes.
The
Storming
Which
the
I
metaphorical
need to get back
Bastille.
to because I haven't done that in a long time. But recently, given YouTube's practices, yeah, you know what, we need to find some alternatives now.
Yet nobody hates YouTubers quite like YouTube itself does.
Bro,
Right,
get your
continue
money
on with the
up, man.
outro.
We have the humblest riders, Humble Marty.
Hello, I'm Humble Marty and I write things. Thank you for coming to our discussion of martial arts stuff and watching us ramble on and on and on about things. Yay.
The
Well,
lovely
that was more a wolf than us.
True.
For once, yes.
yeah, it's a topic he picked that out that was definitely in my wheelhouse. Now, can the Lady of Valor say something?
Well, this is Leah Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and thank you all for joining us in discussion about martial arts. If you have a favorite film, movie, video game, or an anime that contains some of the topics that we talked about tonight, please leave it in the comments below. I'm sure Wolf will very, very much appreciate this since this is a genre that's very close to his heart. And if you know anyone else that has that this is their genre, please like and share this video with others. I'm sure Wolf will appreciate that as well. We can always look forward to welcoming new faces. And until then, everybody enjoy what's rest of their evening, and we will see you next time.
The Sixth Ranger, Dark Stranger.
Now, good morning, and thank you for having me on this fun little nostalgic talk about martial arts films, series, and other mediums and actors from the past.
The Seventh Magician, the Occultist, the Authenticator.
Okay, where did you pull that? Out of your ass, but never mind. Before I go into my outro, I do just want to clarify. I clarified in the private chat, but for those looking for any of the books I recommended, I stand by Jason Reed as probably the go-to guy for Western takes on Eastern mysticism. But the author that I fucked up earlier that I didn't know off the top of my head is Binabel Wen, who wrote
Why'd
Tower
you
of the
fuck
Clock.
him up? Are you looking for lawsuits? Jesus.
No, it's a
What?
Freudian slip.
What?
He got the two mixed
Distracting
up.
you. Keep going.
Wah, 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 wah. But Dark's innuendo riddled brain aside, I am the authenticator. I do several things here on the internet. I do have my own channel, but I hardly ever use it. The places you will find me most often are on the podcast The Storm, which I share with the Brainstormer of Pop Culture, which is a geek news and politics roundup show we do every Saturday at 8:30. I also do a men's rights and men's issues show called The Duality of Man with Mr. E2099. We try to do that every Wednesday at 5:30, but YouTube being YouTube, it doesn't always work out that way. I also do a weekly show that I share with them and with Englentine called What You Readin', which is a hidden gems of comicdom review show. And other than that, I suppose you'll probably be able to find me here most often. But cheers, guys. I will see you in the next one.
This has been your Wolf Commander Wolf Tan. Remind you guys once again that you are the UN Space Sea. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.